Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of Blood on the Tamesis, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in Oxfordshire, England, 2012. With me tonight...
Philip playing Silas Shaw of Clan Brugger.
Bex, can't remember my name. Velvet of Clan Ventry.
Lane playing Joanne Salt of Clan Toreador.
Carlos playing a very distressed Theodore Penn from Clan La Sombra.
So we're back after our mid-season break. Given that there are some exciting technical things going on, what we're going to do is jump straight in. So, where we left our characters at the end of Session 5, they were in mainly kind of good health, mentally and physically, with the regular exceptions of Theodore's little bit of aggravated warpad damage and Joanne's little bit of aggravated health damage. But they're fine. They're all right. They're fine. So, let's go to Velvet. Before we do that, there was one thing we didn't do at the end of episode 5, which was we resolved various stains and remorse rolls, but Joanne had a phone call with Amanda, who was a Toreador from Reading, where she was starting to talk about possible weaknesses that the Prince of Oxford might have to help Reading out with the upcoming duel. And for those of you who know our Chronicle tenets, they will know that isn't exactly a stain-worthy action. So Joanne has got a stain. So this is the point where I say, have you got any convictions you can try and put up to mitigate that stain?
I think so, but I don't know if I can blag it or not.
You're welcome to blag. You're always welcome to blag.
So my other conviction is good people must be protected, and I think she sees Amanda as a good person.
But it's not Amanda.
Yeah, that's
being...
what I was trying to blag it.
I think if you knew the Prince of Reading and you thought that Prince Helena was like a really nice person, the thing is also when it's a vampire, it's always more of a stretch.
Do you feel person and
all princes are
kindred? But I think you could blag if you thought it was a really nice vampire. It would be a blag, but you could try it. All right, so in that case, I would like you to make a remorse check, please.
Oh! We're going down one!
Oh, shit!
Okay. So, what humanity does that place Joanne on now? 25. So,
Theodore is a teddy bear.
So this means...
She's awful.
So what this means, you probably know this, but just in case you don't, what it means is when you make checks against Frenzy, you will get one less dice from your humanity towards those checks.
That should help you fulfill Harold's request.
It also means that your kind of undead nature is slightly more noticeable when you deal with mortals. So if you're dealing with them in a way that is not predatory, i.e. trying to scare them or seduce them for a feed or something of that nature, in which case you have no penalties. But if you're trying to just be like a nice person to some mortals, then you get a 1 die penalty. Okay?
It was all 2s I rolled.
Oh,
3, 2.
Yeah.
that's bad luck. But what it also means is Joanne feels completely justified in what she did, feels no remorse whatsoever, and is happy to continue going for it. So you may feel that that's also good. That's exactly how Joanne should feel. All right. So now that we've got that covered, let's go back to our characters. So although Silas is currently existing in time on the 15th of April, which is a Sunday, the other characters were finishing their scenes on the tail end of Saturday, the 14th of April. Where we left Velvet, who's we're going to start with, was Velvet had a fairly full night, having various kind of tattoo-related incidents and hugs and various other things that are still perhaps haunting him at this stage. But having dealt with those things, taken Miyuki back to the other haven, so hopefully she won't be seen by or found by Naoto.
Yep.
He went looking for Adam, who had not been responding to his texts and getting increasingly frantic.
Oh, boy.
Whereupon he got a call, and it was from his sire Wallace, who said they were ready to have their talk. And he'd given you an address, and Velvet was on his way to that place.
Yes, so I have a question.
Yes.
Is this an address I recognise?
Yeah, it's a steakhouse in town.
But it's obviously somewhere I've been before.
Yeah, I think it's because it's a restaurant that's quite an upmarket restaurant
Okay, fine.
has quite exclusive.
It's not the restaurant I was in when he when he came and took me?
No.
Okay. Fine.
No.
I'll be going there then.
All right. So you park up,
Yep.
go in. You kind of go up the stairs
Yeah.
to where the kind of seating area is, and this place is. To Velvet, it will feel nice. To most people, it would feel expensive.
Okay.
There are candles burning at the tables that are covered in tinted glass. There's a kind of it's a softly lit space. And the thing that Velvet will notice is there is no one else here but Wallace. There is staff. When you come in, there are people who
Okay, yeah.
say, oh, you're expected and to go upstairs.
Yeah.
But as you make your way up the stairs and you gradually, your view level kind of comes up to take in the whole of the space, there is only Wallace sat at a table. And otherwise, it is an entirely empty place. However, although you're one floor up, there are no curtains or anything on the windows, so it looks out onto the road.
Okay.
So you're not entirely unseen
Okay.
in that sense.
Is there a restaurant on the lower level?
Yes, there is.
Are
But
there people in that?
a few, yes.
Okay, right.
But it is very late.
Okay.
You think that,
They're probably closing.
they would normally be closing, but they seem to have stayed open
Yeah, okay.
just for you.
Okay.
So what does Velvet do?
So I will, when I come through the doors, I guess where I can see, the first point at which I can see him,
Yes.
I will just walk over to him, but it'll be quite purposeful.
Yes,
I'm
okay.
quite confrontational.
So there's quite a bit of space to stride across
Yeah.
before you get. He's not sitting that near the entrance. So
Yeah.
you have this kind of feels a little long, but yes, you stride purposefully towards him, quite confrontationally towards him. He is sitting quite relaxed, watching you like this is just a normal kind of thing.
And I'll say, where is he?
Good evening, Velvet. Why don't you take a seat?
Why don't you tell me where he is?
I was given to understand that you wanted to have a conversation. So, as per your request, I'm here to have a conversation, but it's not in my nature to look up at you whilst we have a conversation. So I suggest you sit down, or I'm going to stand up.
I'll stay standing up.
Okay. So, are you just standing there kind of...
I mean, I'm continuing to ask him.
Okay, so...
Yeah, I'm continuing. So I'll say, I'll sit down when you tell me where he is.
I'm going to ask you nicely one more time, Velvet. Sit down. Be a good boy.
I'll take my jacket off,
Okay.
put it over the chair.
Okay.
I don't sit down.
Okay.
I say, you can ask as nice as you like. It ain't gonna make the slightest bit of difference.
I think if you consider our history and your situation, you will come to the conclusion that sitting down, being a gentleman, having a discussion is a better way to do things.
Well, you know what? I might be prepared to do that if I was in the company of a gentleman.
As you're looking at him and as you're saying that, I would like you to roll composure. No, sorry, intelligence and resolve, please.
Oh.
Include your hunger dice. You can obviously rouse. Oh, you get a dice for unswayable mind, by the way. No, 2 dice for unswayable mind because you're by potency.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Nothing.
No, one.
No,
one.
one.
Okay, so
One amazing success.
I think I might spend willpower on that. Can I spend willpower on that?
yes, you can absolutely spend a point of willpower if you want to re-roll up to 3 unmarked dice.
3.
3 successes.
Okay, so now that you think about it and you think about your history with Wallace, you come to the conclusion that maybe it would be a good idea to sit down. If you don't want to sit down, You can spend willpower for each round that you don't sit down. However, you do think, on reflection, it comes to you that maybe it is the right thing to do.
Then I'll sit. Whatever was the chair, I hold my jacket over.
Sure, you sit down. I just need to make a roll for him. Oh. He waits for you to sit down. He says, now, in court, you said you wanted to talk about something. Seemed very urgent. So, here I am, Velvet. What did you want to discuss?
Where's Adam?
You were with Adam in court. I assume there's another matter that is most urgent that you wish to discuss.
No, what I want to discuss is that.
You wanted to ask me where Adam, Mr. Palmer, was in court when he was standing right
No,
by
that's
you.
not what I wanted to ask you. But that's what I want to ask you now.
I see. Well, why would I know where Mr. Palmer is?
What do you mean? Why would you know?
Why would I know where Mr. Palmer is? Why would I care where that man is? What reason would I have to be concerned as to the whereabouts of Mr. Palmer? That is my question to you, Velvet. He is somewhat beneath me, as I'm sure you're aware. So why would I need to pay attention to him?
Okay, when he says when he says that, I lose my shit at him.
Sure. And what flavour of losing your shit would you like to go for?
Probably I'm just gonna hit him.
Okay.
I mean, terribly badly, but nonetheless.
Sure. So you're what? Just gonna. When you say hit him, do you mean like a sort of strike across the face, like a "How dare you"?
Yeah,
like a almost like a slap strike? Yeah, like a backhanded kind of. Okay. Sure. So, you can roll for me. The only reason I'm asking you to roll, it's not that you're gonna miss. It's just how much damage you do him. So just roll for me a quick strength and brawl, because he's not expecting you. He's not expecting you to strike him across the face. He's not trying, and you're right next to him. Right. So you strike him across the face, dealing him 1 superficial.
Take that.
Halved.
Halved, but rounded up to 1.
Fortitude might have applied, but reduces up to 1.
Now, Velvet has not been in many physical confrontations in his time.
Never.
There is a sort of a satisfaction to striking him.
Yes.
And the thing that's less satisfying is that he doesn't particularly go anywhere. You know, like he doesn't fall off his chair or.
Yeah.
You do strike him. His head does turn with a strike, and then very, very slowly comes back to look at you, and he says, "I suppose I'll answer my own question." Oh, actually, sorry. First, I've just got to make a quick frenzy check. Right back to you.
Being disrespected by an inferior.
Physical assault and also being insulted by an inferior. Yeah, as described.
Okay.
He says, I suppose I will answer my own question then, Velvet. Why would I concern myself with the whereabouts of Mr. Palmer? Well, ordinarily, there would be no reason for me to do that. However, Velvet, you have given me a reason. So I know exactly where Mr. Palmer is. And I'm willing to tell you where he is when I've finished my discussion with you. But first, I thought I might give you a chance to say whatever was on your mind. Because by the time I'm finished with you, you will not want to tell me anything that's on your mind. So, is there anything you wish to say before I get started?
No.
Well then. You aware, Velvet, that when you are in this society, you are either the person in charge, or you are the person who is a slave. Now, I did not bring you into this society to be a slave. If you are not in control of your own actions, then someone else is in control of what's happening. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you consider yourself in control of your actions at the moment?
Of course I do.
Do you consider what you did a healthy and sensible response to your sire, a knight of Oxfordshire, in a room where you are alone? Do you consider that a sensible way to go? Do you consider that your actions may have ramifications upon not only yourself, but also other people in your sphere? Now, given you know that is the truth, do you still consider that your actions are under your control? Because I'm starting to strongly suspect that they are not.
I think I'm being perfectly rational.
I mean, you have lots of reasons to absolutely be angry with Wallace.
Yes.
And you feel you are being... I mean, you might sometimes be aware that the feelings you have, of course, are excessive and amazing, but that's because they're important.
Because they're excessive and amazing. Yeah. Okay, fine. Well, in which case, of course I
You
can
can
control.
however you can sort of however you want. But yeah.
I'll need to reconsider. Of course, I'm in control of myself. And in point of fact, you told me about not bringing me here into this society to be a slave. Well, it's got to be the most laughable thing I've heard since I've got here. All people like me are like that. This is not a society where people like me get to be anything other than slaves. It's just a matter of who you're a slave to.
When you were a little boy, did your parents let you drive a car? Did they let you carry a gun? No, because you were a child. Now you are supposedly now your own man in the society, but it's early days, and here in Oxfordshire we earn our freedoms. Now, I thought you were well on the path to earning yours. I had stepped back from your education because you had shown me that you were in control. Yet now I see you have lost your way, Velvet. Lost it badly.
Well, I guess it's just a reflection on my sire, right?
Well, it's funny you should say that. Just making another frenzy check. Be right back.
Oh, you're so fucked.
Hey, look, all I'm saying is he shouldn't have been a dick.
You're not making it better.
There is like a flicker of his top lip. Just like the beginning of something, and then he... You have choices to make, Velvet. Either you control yourself and your unpleasant appetites, or I will control them for you. And understand me, I will not forget your insults, your insubordination, and I will make sure that each time that happens, there will be a consequence. For example, the longer you string out this conversation with me, the worse it is for Mr. Palmer. I hope you understand that. So you hit me if you want. You insult me if you want. I promise I will get better much faster than he will.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm just going to lose my shit at this point.
As in, you're going to let the beast
Yes.
loose.
Oh!
Sure.
I mean, for what it's worth, right? Like, I don't know. What do I need to do? Nothing. Or do I need to work something?
If you wish to, so obviously the idea that your lover is being threatened is enough to rouse the beast.
Yes.
If you wish to not at all, even slightly resist it and let it out, you can effectively ride the wave where you choose where you wish the beast to go. And you can throw yourself in a frenzy upon Wallace, and your blood potency will be added to your physical stats.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
However,
Yeah.
Velvet does know the laws of this society. If you attack him, he is absolutely... he is also under the prince's protection.
Yeah.
If you attack him within Oxford, he will be within his rights to destroy you.
Okay.
At the moment, he cannot destroy you without the prince's permission. However, if it's in self-defense, then that's a different matter.
I don't. I mean, so that's that's sort of what I was driving at, because I don't. He's obviously got the right of it about Adam. So in which case, I'll try to. I won't try to do that. I'll try to stop myself from losing.
And obviously, yes, you're furious, but also you are very concerned for Adam at the
Yes,
same
exactly.
time.
Yeah. So I need this to get to a resolution, and if that means I don't know, taking a beating or whatever, then that's what I'll do.
Sure.
So I'll keep quiet.
Okay.
You know.
So a kind of a quiet descends at the table. And he says, understand me when I say this. This situation cannot continue. Mr. Palmer should know better. You should know better. You are weakened by this. You are diminished by this. And so is he. Now, I don't care for Mr. Palmer too much, but I do care that you do not disgrace yourself in court. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you think, Will, that you can get this under control, that you can step back from your addiction? Do you think you can reclaim your own independence of spirit? Do you think you have the strength to do that, or do you wish me to assist you in that?
There's no need for your assistance.
Well, I hope that's true, because the evidence you are providing is somewhat lacking this evening. All right. Well, you understand that I am serious, and if you so much as look at me funny in a public space, I will be sure to visit out my retributions upon everyone else. Am I clear?
Very.
In that case, I imagine you want to see Mr. Palmer so you can resolve the situation, such that it doesn't happen again. You're eager to get going, I'm sure. So I'll tell you where he is. Problem is that strike to the face somewhat jogged my memory. Maybe I'll have to go and have a look, see if I can remember. I'll be right back. You stay there. He gets up. He walks away. What does Velvet do?
I'll stay where I am. How long has he gone?
So a few minutes go by. They feel, obviously, that the time stretches. So it gets to 5 minutes. You stay there?
Yeah, I'll look at my watch.
So you look at your watch, you watch the minutes go by.
Yeah.
After about 10 minutes, you still waiting?
Yeah, that's about the point where I'd be considering getting up.
Okay.
So I probably stood up from the table.
Okay, he'll come back. You'll hear returning footsteps.
Okay.
So you're standing at this point.
I'll sit down.
Okay. He comes back. He doesn't walk purposefully in the way you did entering. He walks casually. And he sits down and arranges himself. I've been giving the matter some thought. You understand that time works differently when you get older. Well, it moves somewhat faster in many ways, slower in others. So we were discussing something. Now, what was it? Oh, yes, it comes back to me now. It's all coming back to me. There's a set of private garages not too far from here. Let me just write it down on this napkin for you. He'll take out quite a nice pen. Arrange a napkin, writes.
Still, I'll imagine stabbing him through the eyeball with a pen.
It's very easy to imagine. And then he will fold the napkin and he will slide it across the table. There you go.
We'll take it from him. Or I take it from where he's left it.
Yeah. You can go if you want to.
Oh, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
I'll get up and leave.
So you leave the restaurant.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I'm going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go immediately to the these garages.
Yeah.
And it isn't far. And it's essentially for people who want to bring their cars into town, but are very rich and don't want to park on the street and want to have private parking for their things, right?
Okay.
And they all have like little buzzers and things on them. When you get there,
Yeah.
assumedly you
Whichever one I think he's...
Yes, he's specified which one it is.
Yeah.
So you go there. So it's garage. It's currently closed. It's got a green metal door for a car, but it's also got a side door for pedestrian access as well.
Okay.
So you don't have to open up the whole thing. And as you're looking at the main thing, the side door will open.
Yeah.
And Seth will step out and shut the door behind him. So you will notice that Seth has his shirt sleeves rolled up. You will also notice fairly immediately that he has what look like scratch marks down the side of his face.
Okay. Oh, I guess it's me versus Seth.
Okay.
I mean, has he shut the door behind him?
Yeah, he's just closing it behind him.
But is it in any way still partly open? I mean,
Partly. He's looking in your, like, he's coming out. He sort of sees you. He's just closing up.
Okay. So, I mean, if I wanted to shove him backwards through the door, could I?
Yeah, you could certainly try.
You've got one strength. No, you can't.
I'll do that.
So you're going to rush and try and push him into the garage.
Yes.
Okay. Sure.
What do I have to roll? I mean, not...
It's going to be strength and brawl. I mean, you could stretch to athletics if you've got it.
Other people run for me.
One success.
So you run at Seth.
Yeah.
And he kind of says, "Hey, Velvet," as you crash into him. He reacts very quickly. So you put your hands kind of against his chest to push him through. And as you're doing that, his hands kind of revolve around under yours,
Yeah.
break the hold you've got on his chest, grab you by the lapels.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself lifted off the ground as he walks. It's a very sort of
Yeah.
narrow street. But basically, you're lifted off the ground and slammed against the wall. You got one success, right?
Yep.
So you take 4 superficial halved to 2.
Okay.
So he slams you against the wall, and you see his fangs bare.
Okay.
He does get a stain. Actually, no, that's not quite true. He's got conviction. But anyway, he slams you against the thing, and he says, "What's got into you, Velvet? You want me to break you as well? I'll do it."
Put me down.
He drops you.
Is he still between me and the door?
Yeah. Because you done fucked up, Velvet. You fucked up real bad. But I'm going to help you get straight. Don't you worry, I got your back. But you so much as touch me again, I'll fucking kill you. You better understand that.
Are you going to let me through this door?
Yeah. He steps aside.
Just ignore him and walk through.
You walk through. So you go into a garage.
Yep.
There is some weak electric lighting in here. There's no car in here. You will see there is signs that things are in disarray. Things have been knocked off shelves. There has also been a scuffle in this space. You will pick up a few details immediately. You will notice there is what looks like a metal bar that has been discarded and is laying on the floor. You will see no small amount of blood about the space. And you will frantically look. In the poorly lit space, though, even so, it doesn't take you long, as your eyes kind of adjust to the light, to see a crumpled figure in the corner of the garage. You will hear kind of muffled crying. Smells of blood in here, by the way.
Adam's blood.
Yeah.
Assuming I know what that smells like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least that's what Velvet's imagination tells him.
Yep.
That he can smell. That he can recognize the smell
Yep.
of Adam's blood. You'll note that one of Adam's shoes, one of his feet is not wearing a shoe, the other is. As you can't see all of him, but you can see his legs.
I'll go over to him.
Okay. So the other thing that will strike you is that it sounds like he's breathing. You know, it sounds like he's kind of going, he's drawing in a shuddering breath as you're approaching. Of course, you know, Kindred don't need to breathe.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, he seems to be. So as you get closer, you will see that he's kind of largely intact.
Largely.
But he seems curled upon himself, seems to be cradling one of his arms. One of his legs looks like it's at an odd angle. And he looks bruised.
Okay.
There is swelling kind of in most of it, kind of around his face and neck, you can see. He is not wearing a shirt. Well, he's wearing the remnants of a shirt and perhaps whatever he had before. And his trousers are torn. Something you will see is that it looks like he has been brutally attacked around a kind of an area of his body. And it will take Velvet a few moments to realise, but it's the place where you often feed from him. There are no signs of any bite marks on him anymore, though. You are aware of that. However, a lot of the skin has just been brutalised and torn to the extent that, you know. So it just looks like he's been in some horrific accident or beating rather than anything else. There is evidence of that he's been crying extensively, and those track marks are kind of on his cheeks.
So my first priority is to make it clear to him that I'm here.
Okay.
So I drop down by his side.
He flinches at your approach for a moment, and then with a sort of swollen eye and a good eye, looks at you.
Where's Seth at this point? Has he come back in?
No.
Okay. Can I physically pick him up?
What, Adam?
Yeah.
You would struggle to.
Okay. Fine. In which case, I will get my phone, and I will call Joanne.
Okay. So, Joanne,
Where I'd be at this point as to whether
so
I'd pick
this
up or not.
is still the Saturday. So you're going out on the Sunday, as I recall. So you are probably in the Haven. So it is late now. You know, it's in the small hours of the morning. You've had your call with Amanda. You've had an otherwise relatively, apart from the meeting with the coterie, a fairly quiet night. So your phone will go.
Pick up.
I need you to come to where I am right now. Please,
Okay,
I'll give you anything. Just come here.
You don't need to. Where?
I'll remember that I don't know where I am, and read her the address off the napkin that I have.
So you'll get the address.
Yeah, so
I'll say bring Theo or Silas, or bring somebody, because I can't lift him like this, and there's blood everywhere, Joanne, and I can't get him.
I'm on my way. Just no one else is here.
What do I have to do?
It's just me. If this is who I think it is, he'll be fine. I'll be there as quick as I can.
Seth is here somewhere, so be careful. I'll drop the phone on the floor.
Okay.
And I'll go back to trying to look after Adam.
Okay.
So at that, I'll kind of gather up like equivalent of a first aid kit and get a taxi to wherever the rest I was told.
Okay, so you start doing that. Now, just for reference, because Silas is seeing his parents effectively on the Sunday, he has to go the night before to stagger his trip. So he's not currently in residence. Theodore will be around, should you want him. If you're going just yourself, that's fine.
On the way, I'll call Theo and call Miyuki.
Okay, yes, you call Miyuki. So, you call Miyuki?
Yep.
She'll say, hello?
Hi, Miyuki. We've got a bit of a situation, I'm afraid. We might need Theo fairly urgently.
Ah, I thought he was with you.
No, I was alone in the... Even.
I'll reach him, one moment. So I assume you are in the Haven, in the group Haven at this point. Oh no, of course you're out. Yes.
Yes, because I wouldn't have had
Yeah,
if I wasn't alone.
Yeah, cool. So Miyuki will contact Theodore, and then between the two of you will assume to get you to go to this address.
No.
No? Oh, of course. Right, okay, so Miyuki, you'll get a text from Miyuki that says Joanne needs you.
Tell her I can't.
Okay. So you will get that message back. All right. In the time it takes Joanne to get to you, is there anything you want to say to Adam?
I'll be apologising to him profusely. So depending on how he is, I will to turn him so that he's in my arms. If it's not my estimation that this will make things worse. I mean, I have no medical skills, so
Yeah.
you know.
He will derive some comfort from you, but he is also very tender
Yeah.
because he's been beaten.
Adam, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The help is on the way. I swear to you, I'll fix this. I swear to you.
That's what you said before.
I know, and I thought that's why I was doing it.
We should. This was a mistake.
It wasn't a mistake.
We shouldn't have done this.
Adam, don't say that. Don't say that.
I
Make this right.
You're gonna get hurt. I can't
I don't
have you.
care if I get hurt. I only care if you get hurt. Please don't. You've been hurt. You don't need to make a decision about this right now. It's not.
I need to get somewhere. I need to get back.
Joanne is on her way here.
We shouldn't tell. No, we can't let other people know.
Adam,
they won't like that.
Adam, they will. It'll be all right.
No, it won't. We have to keep this quiet.
Adam, she already knows about this before today.
What? Why? How? I thought it was a secret. I haven't told anyone.
Because she's my friend and I trust her. And And she's a surgeon, and she can help
And
you.
you didn't tell me?
I
You didn't tell me?
only told her tonight.
Who else knows? Did you tell anyone else?
I told Theodore.
What?
I was on my way to get you so that you'd be safe, and I was a little late.
You didn't think to ask me first?
I didn't think this would happen.
What do you...
I didn't.
I said we had to be careful. Is telling everybody...
I was being... That's what I was doing. I was being careful.
Maybe that's how he knows.
What?
You said you told Theodore.
Right.
Well, he might have taken it as clan business.
Theodore wouldn't tell it. He wouldn't do that. I swear to you, Adam.
I haven't told anyone. I thought it was our secret.
But I need help to protect you. And they can help us.
As you're talking with him, you note that some of the swelling on his face starts to go down.
Okay.
A lot of the minor scratches and injuries just seem to seal up and go away. His arm remains looking injured. His leg remains looking odd. But at a cursory look of his face, now it doesn't look like he's been beaten severely and should be hospitalised. It just looks like he's got a couple of minor scratches, and the minor scratches have gone completely.
This is like vampiric healing. That's what it looks
Yes.
like. Fine. Okay.
Yes, you'll be aware.
Weird. Don't
No,
okay.
you are aware that vampires can.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not you're being trolled with weird
Fine. Yeah.
kind of psychological torture.
Yeah. Okay.
So not too long after this, Joanne, you will arrive at these garages. Is there anything I should know about when you arrive, how you're handling things or what you're doing?
Considering I've just been told to come to the garages and nothing else, I'm just gonna kind of like...
Cool. It's very quiet. Can you make me... Have you got any technology?
No.
If not, just give me a quick wits and awareness.
Three?
So you will notice there is a security camera, but it doesn't cover the... It doesn't cover the whole... Like, because you've seen it, you can avoid it.
Yeah.
So you go into the... I should say it's not on the side alley where the pedestrian entrance is. It's on the main thing where all the car entrances are. But you will nonetheless notice it and avoid it. So you go into this dimly lit garage as described. Smells a little bit of oil. Smells a little bit of blood. And you will find Adam and Velvet.
So,
As soon as I see Adam injured, I'm just gonna like move over and go, put him down. You might just...
Adam, this is Joanne. She's gonna help you.
Hello.
I'm still right here. I'll do whatever she's telling me to do.
I'm just gonna move him into the recovery position.
Sure.
It's probably a bit weird, but it's...
He'll give you an odd look, but he won't resist. He just sort of lays there and looks at the wall and doesn't really... he'll not resist what you want to do, but you also, Joanne, get a sense of someone who is kind of like trying to maintain some kind of dignity, perhaps.
Yeah.
So you will ascertain as you start to look at him that he's got a serious injury kind of across the kind of collarbone and neck, and it looks like some skin has been removed, as well as just a lot of blunt trauma to that area. And it also looks like one of his legs is broken, and also that there is some kind of break. There's a break on his arm as well. That's just kind of, you just take all that in as you're examining him, and that's about it. Actually,
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have any other.
Do you need blood to heal this?
Yes.
I open my wrist, or I bite my wrist, and give it to him.
He says, "Is that a good idea?"
Of course, it's a good idea. What do you mean?
Poor guy.
He says,
Resist the difficulty 36.
He goes to almost as if to say something, and then and you see him look down at his arm for a moment. There's a conflicting set of emotions on his face, and then he just says, "Yes, yes," and he will take some blood from you. So you will go to Hunger 2.
Right.
You also, of course, experience... It's an odd thing because it's in a very odd context for you. You're used to being kind of private, alone, and it being a kind of a celebratory thing. Whereas this is a thing of kind of urgency and there's also pain around it. And yet it still feels... You still have that thrill, nevertheless. But it feels at odds with everything else around it.
I'm just gonna, like, as I'm kind of looking him over and like taking in to see what I can do, I just turn to Velvet and just go, "You don't need to tell me what happened now. Just get someone you trust to drive us all back to the Haven. I can do more.
I'm gonna drive us back.
Okay.
I can't lift him on my own. So I need to.
I can try and help. There was a security camera outside, but I worked out where it went so we can avoid it.
All right.
So you're essentially getting your car
Yeah.
and getting Adam and getting him in the car. So I should add, of course, you are both able to do it, but it is somewhat awkward and long-winded because you are two of the weakest kindred.
The 2 strength one?
Hey, Joe, I'm turning up with double my strength pool. Hey.
Adam, though, is not entirely helpless. He's not unconscious.
yeah.
So he's able to assist you. So between the three of you, you know, it's the issue is he can't put weight on one leg.
Yes.
But and also he's got limited movement of one arm.
Yeah.
But he can otherwise move. So after a while, and it is very quiet. It's, you know, it's very, very, very late. It's like 3 a.m. at this point. So you get him into the car. You're getting in, assumedly.
Yeah, I'll have to drive, I think. Yeah.
After a while of driving, Adam will say, "Where are you going?"
We're going to somewhere safe.
You should take me home.
You need to go to the surgery.
I don't.
Does he not need to go to the surgery?
It would be better for my peace of mind if you did. It's... Just looking at what happened, I can...
You can what? Give me some medicine?
Adam,
I can tell what happened.
Adam, I was coming to find you, to bring you somewhere safer than our house this evening. That's what I was on my way to do when I got the call from Wallace.
I don't need to go to a surgery. I need to go home and rest and heal. That's what I need to do. It's not safe for us, Velvet.
Well, then you're my guest, not his.
I'm not leaving you on your own.
It's not how it works, Joanne. You have to leave me on my own. For your own sake. For my sake. At least while we... He lowers his voice, but obviously you'll still hear. He says, at least while we think about how to do this better. If we just blunder on, this is going to get worse. This was a warning, Velvet.
All right. Well, don't change direction, like wherever, on the way to the Haven to go back to where we live.
Yeah.
Wherever that is. And then I will... So yeah, that's where I'll drive.
Okay.
Theodore refused to come. I don't know where Silas is.
What?
Exactly what I said.
Silas would have informed you guys where it was going.
Joanne's not paying attention.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Something must have happened to Theo.
I'm just telling you what he told me.
Did you speak to him?
To Miyuki, yes.
To Miyuki. Alright. Look, let's get back to the house and then, And I'm sorry. I'll drive you back to the haven.
You take as much time, do whatever you need.
So, assuming we get back to the house.
So basically,
Get him in.
Are you taking Adam
Into the house.
to where he wants to go?
Yeah. Well, he said home. I've assumed he's mean where we live.
Do you mean the secret love nest?
Yeah.
No, he's not. I mean, you can take him there. He won't object to going there, but he was implying his own home. He doesn't just live there in the same way that you don't just live there.
Yes,
you normally
but he hasn't
rendezvous there.
clarified that. So if he clarifies it, then I'll take him where he wants to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
He won't clarify much actually. So unless so, if you're just assuming.
Yes.
Fine.
So if we arrive and he goes, oh, not here or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I'll...
No, he won't. He won't object. He's very subdued on the whole journey, and there is a sense for you, Velvet, that it feels like he is diminished. You know, like he is sunken into himself somewhat. I mean, he's generally also always quieter around company. There's something special when it's just the two of you. So there's an element of that, but there is an element that he is just. It's almost like he's just staring out of the window, absently.
Okay. So, assuming that we can get him into the house, but not together.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's entirely happy to go in and will help you as best he can.
I don't want to leave you here.
I don't want you to go either, but you can't.
I know. I have to go and I have to drive Joanne back. But if you need anything, then you call me.
Just be calm. Keep your head down, and be patient. I'll be in contact.
All right.
You have to remember, we have forever, unless we mess this up. I can't go through this again, Velvet.
You won't have to. No, whatever we have to do, that's what I'll do.
He will, because you probably assume you put him in a bed or something like that.
Yeah.
He will just turn away to the wall.
I'll leave and go back to the car.
Okay.
I imagine I'll get in the car and start driving like on autopilot.
Yes.
But I'm like shaking, which is part upset and part rage. So I
think I'll probably pick up on that and just not say much.
Okay. So there is this sense that it would take the slightest thing to set Velvet off at this point. You can see his kind of the grip on the steering wheel, the kind of thinly controlled facial expression.
Yeah. So I just very carefully put my hand on his shoulder and just say, we don't have to talk about it today. Feel whatever you need to feel. And when it comes to it, I'll help you. And then just say nothing more.
So, that kind of brings Saturday night to a close.
Fuck.
So on Sunday, Silas, of course, goes to see his parents and has that whole thing there with them. The rest of you, I know people have various things in mind, but just quickly remind me, are there any things at the top of your list to do on Sunday?
Well, I want to see if he's shown back up, because if he hasn't, I've phoned him. Yes.
So do I.
Yeah.
So let's find out.
Yes.
What does Theodore do?
At the end of the previous night, he probably showed in Isabel's domain uninvited.
Okay. All right. So we will come to that then. We'll do that. Is anyone else doing anything radical before Sunday?
I mean,
I'm just going to cry a lot.
yeah, my conversation with the Thin Bloods can wait if you want to.
Yeah, that's going to happen on Sunday as we get to it.
So nothing.
All right, cool. So, Theodore, you go to Henley-on-Thames. Let me just do a quick, yeah. You know the way very well. How are you getting there, by the way?
Normal car? Normal?
Are you just getting a cab? Or...
No, my normal car.
So you're driving?
Yeah.
Okay, so you drive there, you park up, there is plenty of space in the very large drive. You go to the door, and what are you doing? You will probably have a key, I should add, if you wish to use it.
Yeah, but I'm unannounced.
I mean, it would be very rude.
Exactly.
So you knock, and after a not very long time, the door will open, and Isabel is there. And she says, Theodore?
Apologies for this. We need to talk. It's important.
Please come inside. She'll step aside, let you in, shut the door, invite you into the normal sitting room. She will light a candle. She will arrange herself. As she always does.
Amago has... Amago summoned me and has asked me to fulfill a new a boon, the boon.
The one that you mentioned that was established before your embrace.
That one. I have no idea how to feel about it. It is too much to ask. But for him, it's probably nothing. Probably doesn't even care.
Well, you know that if there is any way I can help you, Theodore, then I will do so.
Well, I wouldn't ask for help for fulfilling the boon. I wouldn't put you in that situation. I need to know what to do about it. Because it's a type of boon that should not be asked. He wants me to kill Meliora.
She, let me just. He knows.
He might know.
What exactly did he say? It's very important, Theodore.
He said that whenever you have to fight, you find the weapon that best suits the task. But sometimes those weapons outlive their usefulness. So he's clearly referring to the use Meliora had during the Sabbat War for him.
Yes. Yes, I fear you have the right of it.
He said that she must die. That her blood is corrupted. And this would be my way of showing that mine wasn't. So I don't know exactly how much he knows.
We must find out.
He wants me to do this after he leaves.
That's interesting.
Probably doesn't want to be involved. I would guess Ota, the Tremere, might be involved somehow. They have ways with the blood. I have no idea what they do. But I've been told they do things with the blood.
It's possible if he had got access to her blood somehow. But I will talk to her. Not directly, but I will ask her about her time there in connection with this visit, about her time and if anything strange happened. See if there is anything which suggests that's the case.
Does it really matter, though?
Yes. Because if he has learnt this through a member of the Tremere, that means that knowledge is not just his, but belongs to them. If he has gained it through some other means, then again, that suggests that someone else must know.
How about the deed? I wouldn't raise a hand against you or her. You're my bloodline. He's no longer my lord. And Meliore is my mentor.
Yes. But you were right to bring this to me, Theodore. We must move very carefully here. Because if he feels that his wishes are not being respected, then he is not the kind of kindred to do nothing. It may take time for him to act, but then that action will be all the worse for it. We must plan ahead. We must find a way to perhaps convince him that you have done what he has asked. I don't know. He has not left yet. Do you know, he has not given me an indication of the length of his visit, but I have the sense it is substantial. He is here for some time.
I've heard something along those lines. I will find out. Because at some point I'm gonna perform a tea ceremony for Sir William and him. I was thinking of bringing Sir Arnulf along. Get him to talk about the olden times or whatever. I can't be bothered anymore.
She will, almost like she's going to reach across and take your hand, but then she kind of stops partway across the table and just rests her hand on the surface. Says, "This could undo us, Theodore. We must tread very carefully." Let us learn as much as we can about this situation first, and then consider our options. It seems to me they are very limited. If you do not complete this action, no doubt his displeasure will fall on all of our line. As you say, you cannot simply enact the boon. And even if you were, the potential consequences of breaking the prince's law are unbearable. So, it would seem to me, either he must believe the boon to be completed in a satisfactory manner, or you must do a separate service for him that is worthy of that boon. Something else, something different, something where he will have to acknowledge the debt and therefore retract his command.
Well, he's not interested in any of that, so we'll have to figure out what is it that he wants.
Or we will need to find someone who has some kind of boon over him and get it from them. I cannot think of any other options available to us. But it is late, and this is a shock. We have time. If we are thoughtful and resourceful, we will find a way through this, Theodore, I'm sure of it. Do you have any thoughts of your own?
Naoto,
What about him?
he's been asking about Miyuki.
That's understandable, given their history.
Not comfortable with that. Neither is she. And I'd be lying if I told you that I wasn't thinking of strangling him.
Do you think that Naoto has some connection to what you've been asked to do? That his actions are connected? Or do you believe them to be separate things?
I think they're separate. He's too much of a prick not to have gloated when he saw me, had he known.
Well, that is good. That is one less person. I would imagine, given the nature of what you've been asked, that very few other people had any idea. I would agree that Amago Takahisa will not wish to be connected to this in any way.
That's why he's asking to be done after he just leaves. He doesn't want to be in any sort of suspects list.
Perhaps there is something with Naoto, however. What if, as Amago's child, it is very difficult to work against Amago Takahisa, but it is less difficult to work against Naoto? Is there some way we could use him against his sire?
I can think of a few ways. I can bash Takahisa with Naoto's head. Not that it will be very effective, but it will be deeply satisfying.
In my experience, Theodore, these satisfactions are woefully short-lived. And what comes after, just woeful. If you are to avoid what he wants you to do, we have to be more intelligent. We have to... She shakes her head. I'm not feeling like I have the answer now, but we will find it. We have to find it. And it will not be bashing heads, but it might be turning heads. It might be persuading people to our point of view.
What if Meliori were to be made a knight? That would considerably put the boon considerably out of my reach. For a kindred of Oxfordshire, my low standing, going against a knight.
That's
It's not
true.
a major boon.
That's true, Theo. I would argue it is not a major boon as it is, but
No, it isn't.
but if he knows what he knows, what we suspect that he does, that gives him a lot of room. However, Meliore has been trying to be awarded the title of knight for a long time now, and Sir Enolf has not been proactive. Believe me, I have tried, and she has tried to persuade him. We have tried other avenues also, but it takes time, and
The only person I've seen Amago talk more openly than anyone else has been Enolf. The two of them understand each other on a level that it's beyond our grasp.
yes. But how does this serve us?
During the tea ceremony, it will be a space for contemplation, but also for socializing. Great deals and pacts are made. Dynasties are forged and lost over tea.
So in this space, what is your plan?
Get information. And if it's at all possible to have Sir Anolf paint Meliori in a different light to Takahisa. However he sees her, I could read a Mago's reaction. It's not like I can read him like an open book.
From what I've, from my understanding of Amago Takahisa, he is not one to change his mind easily.
No, I just want to know what his mind is.
But perhaps Sir Enolf might. And whilst I do not think either of us can change Amago Takahisa's mind, perhaps we might, with a concerted effort, influence Sir Enolf in some way. It will not be easy. She said it will not be without its costs. But I believe it is possible.
I think it's better for us to have nightly meetings until we figure out what's going on and how to fix it.
I have a dilemma, Theodore. I feel that it is my duty to tell my sire. But whilst Meliori is excellent on many fronts, I fear she might betray something of her feelings if she was to know of the threat. Well, I know she will do that. I just fear that she may do it in a place where others may witness it.
And that would put her at risk.
Yes.
Her knowing. That's why I talk to you, because her knowing might be dangerous for her.
And us.
And might disgrace us.
Yes. I think for the moment, it is better that she not know until it becomes a time where she has to know. And I would rather present her with options when we tell her. A way out of this.
Yeah, because she will know. Sooner or later she will find out.
She'll have to.
We'll tell her. But it's better to go to her with a problem and possible solutions than just a problem. When will you see her next?
I will make a point of seeing her tomorrow. I want to ask her about her experiences in Tokyo. We need to discover how many people might threaten our existence here.
Okay.
We need to do that quickly.
Then I'll come tomorrow.
Yes. Do you wish to stay here tonight?
And that's when I... Yes. It's just... Is there any way for us to get a hold of the Prince Tremere?
Yes, it's possible. It will take some organising, but it's possible.
Because I would rather owe her.
You could potentially do it through your duties to Sir Holder if you had need to call Tremere for something and then discuss the matter with her. Or I can approach her myself if you'd prefer.
Talk tomorrow to Meliori. I'll think of something better.
She will reach out and put a hand on yours and she'll say, after all this time, it is good to have someone else to lean on in these times.
Thank you.
Good night, Theodore.
Good night. I just go to my old room and
Yeah, it's still made up.
message Miyuki.
Sure, what are you saying, sir?
I'm at Isabel. Clan business.
Okay.
Well, I'm at Isabel's. Busy with work. Hope you have a nice day tomorrow.
Okay.
Just as I lay in the bed and I'm not even gonna undo it. I'm just gonna close the door, lay on the bed in darkness, and keep my eyes wide open as I reach out to it.
It's different this time because before there's been a lot of hesitation in Theodore around this. But now that your back is to the wall, somehow that resistance is not there. And there is darkness there, and there is also darkness there. And you're able to reach through one to the other and feel that connection. And whilst there is still a sort of fleeting fear with it, there is also a sense of strength, of something untouchable that is yours to control. So, I'm aware we're approaching the break, and I'm also aware that poor Silas is still time traveling with his parents. So, Sunday will come about.
Welcome to the future, guys.
Yeah. While Silas is with his parents on the Sunday, Velvet, what are your, remind me, what are you up to?
I am my not room depressed and don't mean.
Okay. So, you are struggling with the previous night, which is completely understandable. Joanne, you, I believe, are off to meet some Thin Bloods. And Theodore, you are you doing anything on the Sunday I should be aware of?
I want to clear my mind. I go to Victoria's.
Cool. So
Early in the night, help her with a shift.
So Victoria is now in her late 50s. Woe betide anyone that tells her this. And very much, there is a sort of weird comfort of returning to the kitchen from the point of view of, it never really changes. You know, sometimes the decoration changes slightly. Sometimes the tables get slightly rearranged. But essentially, it feels the same. And there is a weirdly eternal feel about Victoria, despite the fact you are aware she is older now. And, you know, she is, her knife hand is still firm. Her glare is equally firm. The respect people have remains as it is. And the family. Obviously, the kids are now grown up more and are now like fully fledged with their own lives, their own families. But of course, all of that still happens here. This is still the kind of the center of that universe that she inhabits. So you go to see her. I'm not going to play into the scene deeply, but she will remark that you are looking very well.
Thank you very much.
And that the beard suits you.
Thank you.
And you get to kind of cooking work. You will notice as well that when she comments that you're looking well and things, her posture changes a little bit. Like she's making a bit more effort. You know?
I will compliment her new apron.
Yeah.
The new changes to the kitchen.
She is always pleased when you notice these details. And you fall into your familiar routine of kind of catching up and cooking and everything else. And you have that sense of her, you know, she's not kindred, obviously, but that sense of having come into someone else's domain. It's very much hers. No, well, I mean, allegedly also possibly her husband's, but like, it's her, really, it's hers. It's hers.
That's a rumor and it's completely unfounded. I've been there.
Yeah. So you have a pleasant beginning to your evening. Joanne.
I'm busting for a piss. I'm so sorry.
Well, I tell you what, we'll come to your scene after the break.
Yep.
Let me turn my attention. So Silas, on the Sunday, you obviously will be heading back to Oxfordshire after you've said goodbye.
Yep.
So I assume on the Sunday itself, you're not doing anything too radical.
I'll just be.
But I know you want to talk to Finn.
Yep.
So are you intending to do that on the Sunday night?
If he's available.
For you, he will be available. So we'll have a quick chat with Finn and then we'll move to the break.
Yep.
So Finn will be in his domain, which of course is in the north of Oxfordshire, as you're aware.
Yeah, I'll have cleaned up.
Yes. So you've no longer got prosthetics or makeup or anything else on.
Trails from the
Or blood trails from the crying on the journey back. So he will receive you in his big kind of reading room. And he'll be in one of the big comfy chairs with a book. Assuming you'll come and join him. All right, Silas.
How you doing?
I'm fine. Are you sure you're okay? You look a bit... can't put my finger on it. A bit different somehow.
Well, working with my coterie, we've put into action a chain of events that's going to lead to my exit from kind society.
It's about time.
Yes, I thought you'd want to be made aware.
Well, I want to be aware it's happening, for sure. I mean, so... Was it my talk that changed your mind?
No, it was.
No.
No, and it was.
All right. So what was it?
Things were happening. Taking time to make sure we don't.
So what things were happening that were more important than my talk with you? What got through to you when I failed after all these years? What was it change your mind? Was it everybody looking older? Was it something weird? You know, because people are always changing things, inventing things, often for the worse, in my opinion. You know, is that what it was?
In the truth,
Aye, always dealing with the truth, Silas. You know
it
me.
was Samata.
Samata.
And
What did she say? Oh, I thought she'd even know.
what she said.
She doesn't watch TV, I can tell you that.
Is less what she says, more what her actions in court, and that made me realise the next steps that I think you and I need to be taking.
Sounds interesting. So, you spoke with Samata and you decided it's time to leave mortal society.
I did not speak to Samata, it was her actions in court.
So, alright, and you think that's going to change. So, I'm glad to hear, let me say, I'm glad that you're going to make this move because it's going to get harder, Silas. The problem about being a good-looking man like yourself is people remember your face.
They do.
And when it doesn't change and the camera's on it, well, that's not good. It's not good at all. No. So I'm glad you've made that decision. Now, what I want to know is, what's this thing you think we should... I gave up my mortal life a long, long time ago, you know.
I've realised that I don't know how far you've got progressing along down the line, but we need to work getting 3 letters in front of your name to then get 3 letters in front of my name.
I see. Well, I like this thinking, Silas. And funny you should say it has been on my mind. So the thing about Oxfordshire is you don't get something without doing something.
I'm aware.
There are lots of roads to being a knight. There's slow ones. You know, where you serve and you're good and time passes, a lot of time, more time than you can imagine passes. They're really old, you know, most of these knights. And obviously when they were doing it, it was the first time, so they didn't wait as long. But now it's much harder. And eventually they'll recognise you and then, you know, you'll be raised. Or there's the fast way, which is you do something so amazing that the prince and the other knights say, well, this person's got to be a knight because of their service to the city. Now, problem is, Oxfordshire's been very stable for a long time, which means there's not many opportunities to do big things. So I've been doing the slow road up to now. Has someone said anything to you about me, you know, is there any rumours about...
I personally haven't heard any.
Aye, that's what I thought.
This poor guy.
But of course, my focus hasn't been as focused As it should be.
Right, I hear you, and now you're saying it's time to be focused. Well, your chance is coming, right, in the games. You impress in the games, that's a good... all the knights will pay attention. And what makes it special is there'll be other cities there as well, other domains, other kindred. So if you humiliate them, the knights will love you for it, right? If you rub their noses in Oxfordshire's greatness, they'll remember. So you've got a chance coming. And obviously, if you do fantastically well, then they'll say, oh, who's that kindred, they'll say. Oh, Silas Shaw. He must have an incredible sire. Who's that, they'll say.
Exactly.
Right, I like it. I like where you're going.
Exactly. And of course, think of how Sir James would be if we get united.
Oh, Sir James would be very pleased.
Oh, I think he'd be more than pleased.
You know who else will be pleased? Sir Kerstag. Aye, she'd be very pleased.
That she would be.
And I like that world, you know. A world where they're pleased. That's the world I want to live in. So let's make it happen.
Yes.
So apart from being incredible in the games, have you got any other ideas about how you're going to impress?
Not at this moment in time.
So you said your coterie are helping with this business.
Yes, they will be. Of course, there's many avenues to cover. I won't bore you with the details, but
I'm sure you've got it in hand, Silas. I'm confident you know what you're doing. So you've told your coterie to make arrangements for you.
Yeah, well, we have been all making arrangements together.
Aye, but I mean at your behest, you know.
Yes, of
you're
course.
Right. Well, I think that's another thing. If you can demonstrate your command over your own coterie, that will show that you are a leader, right? And when they see a leader, they'll think knight. So,
Well,
maybe at the next court or, public gathering, don't go over the top, but, just show you've got a bit of, who do these people look to? They look to you, right? Great. Okay, I like it. It's a good plan. For my part, I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I will see what I can find out about the games. Maybe give you a wee advantage.
yes, of course, any advantage will be useful.
I'm sure I can find out a thing or two,
And I've grown to liking swinging these swords.
Aye.
What,
Never gets old.
out of curiosity, what would be when you get knighted? What will be your weapon of choice?
A knight can use any weapon they want, but me, I like an axe. You know where you stand with an axe. It's good for chopping down trees, and trees are a little bit like kindred when it comes to the effort involved to kill one. So,
Yep.
And at a pinch, you can throw the things.
Yeah.
So, right, good. Well, I'll wish you luck. I'll be in touch. I'll see what I can find out,
Thank you very much.
and then we'll do that. So let's take a break there.
Yep.
So over to the players.
First order of business. You will wait.
And back to me.
Yay!
So we tend to do a giveaway each season, and we're going to do another one this season. And those of you who watched us in season 1 will remember that one of the first things that our new characters, our new kind of fledglings in Oxfordshire had to try and do was get access to meet the prince. And to do that, they had to obtain a coin called the Herald's Coin. And we have one.
That's so cool.
So this is a bespoke. You can't just get these in the shops,
One of a
bespoke
kind.
coin one, with with the crest of Oxfordshire on it, along with the oath around the edges. So, if you would like the chance to win this, it's very simple. Same kind of rules as we had before. I will put all of this on the blog post as well at the end of the week. So if you want to check over the details there, you can. But essentially, if you support us via Twitch or Patreon, that support registers you in a raffle where you can win. If you also manage to get anyone else to come and join and support us, that will give them obviously the chance because they're supporting us, but it will also give you an additional chance to win as well. So you've got to be in it to win it. But as a way of saying thank you, we like to do these giveaways. This giveaway will be drawn at the end of season 2, so during the interval of episode 10. So you have that time to grab everybody you know, even the people you don't like, and persuade them to come and support our stream.
Support the stream, support. Yeah, no. Terrible.
And obviously we will be kind of putting reminders up every so often on the episodes as well.
So for those who did the quick math, that is going to be the 23rd of March.
So not you.
That was
then?
precisely not me.
It took me ages, even though we have had this conversation 5 times. It's like, yeah, definitely, it's episode 10, 23rd of March, in the interval. Subscribe, follow, Patreon, thingy.
Theodore will stake you. You don't want that, man.
Relationship map.
Thank you.
Onwards.
So, relationship map. So, apologies, I've got a cold, so I might not sound myself. So, one of the things that we did with the relationship map, people who were watching last week in the one-shot will know we talked about the update from episode 5, so it might not seem like there's a lot, but because I like a cock-up, I have fixed some of my mistakes. So, we've had a few boons kind of flying around between characters and NPCs. So there was one between Velvet and Matthew Smith at the end of Series 1, a minor boon which has been added. And then there was a major boon between Velvet and Anne. The major boons are now shown in a dotted light blue line. I updated Theo and Lord and Margot's boon to be actually a major boon and not a life boon. Cock up number 2. Okay, and then I added the minor boon between Theodore and Velvet, which is a thing actually that happened in the space between seasons 1 and 2. So 2 of those boons, because Velvet likes an unregistered boon, were unregistered. Yeah. So there is now a tag which says secret/unregistered boon. And I added descriptions for the boons between Velvet and Anne, and Theodore and Margot, and Velvet and Matthew. And for people who are looking at the map, because I know Mitch is showing you different, very different parts of this, like a Superman. The boon for each of the boons, the arrow is in the direction of the person to whom the boon is owed. That makes sense. If it doesn't, tell me and I'll change it. Hey, I like a change. That's it for the relationship map.
Shout out.
I just have one. So, obviously, as a few of you know, I wasn't here last week. I was spending close to a week in London with some friends I've known for a long time, I haven't met before. So, Tasha, Julian, thank you so much for letting me crash your holiday. I had an amazing time, and now take this away from me or I'm going to cry.
I now have the stake and will speak until Lane stops crying.
I'm fine.
Are any other shout-outs?
I don't think so.
So let's go see if there are any questions.
Pretty light on questions this week.
Okay.
But Izzy wants to know what Marvel superhero you think you are and why.
Fuck.
What
I think
Marvel
I am.
superhero I
Jeez.
think I am?
I think.
Aunt May.
There we go. Oh God, I think I am.
I am.
Why?
Why? Because I'm sweet. But I can grab a bat and bat someone. Like, that's what Aunt May does. Protect his family, but in very extreme circumstances.
Come back to me, I need to look this up.
I mean, I can't tell you. I have no idea. I wish I could. I can only think of non-Marvel superheroes that I would class myself as. So.
Okay.
Phil?
Phil's looking stunned.
I have no idea. I'm afraid. I bet it. Yeah. What are you? I don't have a clue.
It's difficult, isn't it? I
didn't go.
Yeah, he can be so many.
Was it a Marvel superhero?
I mean,
Or what was
Marvel. It was Marvel.
character?
Marvel
Okay, Marvel
superhero.
character. Okay.
Oh, Marvel. Which Marvel hero are you? I mean,
hero.
It's Marvel.
maybe.
If you don't want heroes, go
On
DC.
May.
I mean, I guess I would say, because obviously lacking superpowers generally.
Yeah.
But I would say maybe Spider-Man, from the point of view of somebody who. I mean, I'm not a genius scientist, unfortunately, but I
your guys, you have a
do.
wider choice.
Neither
right?
is Peter Parker.
But I do. I think the thing about Spider-Man is that he kind of struggles with real life alongside being a superhero,
and struggles with life.
and I feel that I can relate. So yeah, I'm going to say Spider-Man.
Okay, so coming back to me, I literally just looked up what shit Marvel superheroes are there, and I found I found Hindsight Lad.
Well, in hindsight, we should have done
Who
that.
has the amazing ability to say annoying things like, if only we had done it my way. That's me.
Well, chat, why don't you say what superhero I am? Because
Yeah.
why not? Go ahead, because this can only end well, can't it?
This sounds more like a Discord.
I'll
Yeah.
give this
Chat.
due consideration and tell you next week.
So yeah,
Yeah, let us know.
sounds like
Discuss it on
go and
Discord.
debate what
Yeah.
superheroes
We
you
are.
think we are, and then
This is one of those really annoying like question reversals, isn't it? It's like, yes, but what
And
do
now
you
we're
think?
asking
Yeah,
you
what do you
questions.
Put it
I
in
think this
comments.
may backfire.
Yeah.
As for a postcard,
what
no, wait.
else? What
Are
else?
there any other questions, Mitch?
So Super would quite like some Markavian madness ideas.
Malkavian. For
okay.
Clan Banes.
Yes.
Okay, so the Clan Bane, it doesn't. I think one of the reasons it's kind of complicated to come up with a good way around the Clan Bane is because in previous editions it would be you're Malkavian, you have an arrangement, and the difference in psychology, neuroscience, and the knowledge of how the human mind works in the last 20 or 30 years is tremendous. So what was seen as derangements back in the 90s now is treated differently. It's mental health issues. There is a big range, a big gamma out there. The Malkavians, think of it of having a skewed perception of reality, either what's out there or what's in there. So some of them will have severe issues of normal day-to-day realities, and that's one of the harrowing things of playing a Malkavian. Things like depression and self-esteem, paranoia. Others are completely outworldly. Hallucinations, visions, fugue, catatonic state, post-traumatic stress disorder. Those are the basic ones. But you can always have a slight twist on them. You can create your own madness, and I use air quotes on this one. It's just a skewed perception of reality. I believe in the Kindred Academy video for the Malkavian clan, we discussed someone who through Auspex would have premonitions, and then through their Clan Bane, they would have visions that were, of course, out of their madness. And for good measure, we threw a very shitty Sire who would play tricks on their minds and give them more. So you would never know if it was their Sire, their powers, or their mind. And that's a way of creating a circumstances in which the person does not know what reality feels like at every step. Like what you are perceiving is the reality for your character, even though it's not true in the real world. That's my take. End of speech.
Yeah.
And that concludes lesson 14 of Kindred.
I think the best way to come up with ideas is just to have a little read about mental health issues. No, I think, and I do mean it, because
Sorry,
if
I
you...
wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at the state jaffification.
Yeah.
To be clear, I was not
Yeah.
laughing at mental
Yeah.
health.
Yeah. We have Lane has staked the Jaffa cake and now is eating
For
it
everyone on
fresh.
the podcast, that's what just
everyone
happened.
on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe that one of the good things about role playing is that if something makes you curious enough, you learn. And I love learning. Just go out there. There's, like, in your phone or your computer, you have access to pretty much most of the interesting information of the world out there. Have a read about mental health issues, mental health problems in general, and in particular in your area. For example, for us, it would be the UK. Because that will all both give you a better understanding of the issue and why is it important to know about it and support people with these problems. But also it will make you a more caring person, because if you play a character like that, you will walk a mile in their shoes. And I think it's always a good way to put things into perspective.
probably add as well that if you are thinking about exploring something like that, it's definitely worth in your session 0 talking to the group about it to see kind of what other people's tolerances and boundaries might be around that as well.
Had no one else really ever staked Jaffa cake and eaten it like that before?
No, you are the first. Congratulations.
That was one of the first things I thought of.
I
Congratulations.
must say, and amongst all of my lark kit, I don't have a stake. Because, why would a vampire carry one?
I've
asking for trouble.
I heard of one Malkavian that's kind of stuck with me, which I thought was fascinating. Was I can't remember who told me. It was someone. This could be Titus. I can't remember who, but this character was speaking to someone who wasn't there, but they were actually speaking to another Malkavian in another city.
Oh, that is a very cool concept.
So there was
using the Madness Network. So there is an actual.
They were speaking. So there's actually conversation going, but of course they only. It's like on a telephone call. You only hear one side of it.
Okay, that's kind of interesting.
I mean, they're going, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to. So thank you very much for all of your questions. I'm going to kind of push back into the action, as it were. So. We are currently on the Sunday, I believe, the end of Sunday.
I'm eating cookies in my pyjamas.
We should be jumping to Joanne, I believe.
Expensive silk pajamas.
Yeah.
So you are in a familiar, homely home, which is very kind of now quite low-key and ordinary feeling compared to where you spend most of your nights. There are 3 thin bloods and a dog present. So that's
Dog!
Heather, Norman, and and Marissa, and Flopsy, the dog. So they've all come at your request. Heather will have made tea, regardless of the fact that no one but her really drinks it. Nevertheless, it is there. Norman will say, "I haven't had time yet to, get the batch together.
That's
Sorry."
Fine. I have something. I said it was urgent, and I've been thinking a lot recently. And have you ever heard of the term diablerie?
So there is a look that goes between them all that pretty much tells you that yes, they have heard that term before.
Well, everyone has different views on what it is and how it's done and whether it's good at all to do, and I just wanted to come here and offer it as an option to you. I have things I need to do in this city first, but afterwards I offer myself to you. You'll make far better use of anything that I could ever have. You'd do so much better than me. I never wanted this. You've kept going despite it, but that's the offer.
Heather says, but you'll die. You're asking us to kill you.
You're my friends. I'd be fine with it if it was any one of you 3. This is the chance for you to become more and less at the same time, but the offer's there. I have things I need to do first, but if you want to take it when my business is done, let me know.
So there's sort of stunned silence in the room. And also that they all kind of look at each other. You know them reasonably well by now, and Joanne is quite insightful. So you get a little sense of what their initial reactions are, and you sense that Heather is just sort of stunned and shocked and just a bit appalled. Norman is thinking very hard. It seems
Yummy.
like this is interesting. And Marissa seems a bit in between the two, a bit appalled, also a bit curious, but not quite sure. And Heather says, well, it's a very generous offer. Norman will say, yeah, very generous. Heather says, but I don't know if I would feel right. My understanding, I never have thought of going this road, but was that it was always something that was done against someone awful. That when a prince calls a blood hunt, if we were to find them, by doing that service for Oxfordshire, we will be allowed this, but not you. You're our friend.
That's why I'm offering.
Well,
But they don't like me, and I know that.
But we like you, and
that's one of the only things keeping me going these days.
Well, then I'd ask that it keep you going a bit longer.
It will. And when I've done what I need to do.
I mean beyond what you need to do. I mean, I hope that our friendship will be there when you've finished what you need to do, and that you won't need to do this.
I hope it will too. But I figure I have to make the offer because you are very important to me, and
It's very... I don't really know how to describe it, but it's very incredibly generous of you. But we're your friends, and we want you to stay with us as our friend. We all feel the same. And the other two nod. One says, yeah.
Thank you.
Marissa says, what are these things you need to do?
It's long, complicated, very, very long story short, the way the bloodline that I'm treated, they've given me a chance to redeem. I've gone off on long rants at you before about why that's bullshit, but I've got the chance, and this isn't just for me anymore. It's for Alistair, it's for Barnaby, and it's for the ones that aren't here anymore.
Norman says, this is why you're not going to be around as much.
Yes.
You've got to, do more stuff over there.
Less do more, and more be the perfect little slave in their eyes.
Well, obviously I can help you in terms of staying well fed.
Yes.
Heather says, they're very proud, aren't they?
Too much so. Pride is... I hate to fall back on a cliche, but pride often comes before a fall, and...
Now, Joanna,
a fall may happen.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but if you like, if you have to go and see them or there's something important, you can always come over and I'll do your hair.
Sounds good to me.
Well, if you think of it like a job interview, you always try and look your best for a job interview. And my children are grown up now, and I still have to,
Kind of like over to Norman, kind of like...
She says, no, not him. She looks at Norman. Norman, by the way, looks like he's wearing the same clothes he's worn for ages. They're a mess.
Exactly.
Everything.
I looked over.
She says, yes. Imagine I'm just saying, if you want any help with that kind of thing, I can help.
I might take you up on that, actually. Thank you. Yeah, that was something that happened yesterday. Days tend to fly by these days, and if something happened that spurred that thought into my head, that's all.
Marissa says, and if you ever just want to bitch about them all, I'm here. She says, and Flopsy's a good listener. She'll pet the dog.
And I will definitely take you up on that again. God knows you listened to that 4-hour rant before, and still don't know why you put up with that.
She shrugs. She says, I've got headphones, it's fine.
Thank you.
Seriously, though, we're here.
And
You were there for us, we won't forget. There aren't many people. I mean, there's you.
that's about it, I assume.
Yeah. We have to stick together.
Exactly, and other offers I've made are still there. Anything I can do, my door is open.
They all kind of nod. You spend a bit of pleasant time with your thin blood buds. So, other things to occur on the Sunday, sliding through to the Monday.
Stare at my phone and wait for a message from Adam.
Okay, he does not. Actually, is that true? Is that true?
I mean, what are the chances I text him anyway? Probably pretty good.
Roll for it.
Very high. Yeah.
You will get a text from him that says, "I miss you."
Oh.
Of course, I'll reply in kind.
Go to Sir Holder.
Nope.
Simple conversation.
So you're going to hold it. Yeah.
I would, at some point, I'll have a quick 5-minute conversation with Vance if he's around at some point.
Yeah, I'll come to that. No
He's
problem.
coming back from therapy in a few days.
Yeah. He'll take him a couple of days, but when he comes back, you can totally do that. Yeah. So okay, you go to Holder. She's in her normal place.
We have the kindred, the intruder. We have had Miss Hergs in our place. We have them. What are your instructions?
He should be destroyed, of course, and one who is of the nature I'm given to understand he is does not need to be brought before the prince for such a thing to happen.
Understood.
I'm curious as to why this kindred invaded your domain and why they attempted to bring the prince's wrath against Sally. However, it is the business of your domain. I would appreciate any information you have, but I'm not demanding it.
I will make one last effort to extract whatever information is possible out of him. But should I bring proof of final death?
Your word is proof enough.
You honor me with your words. Sir Holder?
Yeah, and you're dismissed. So...
Good job you didn't send me. It wouldn't have been enough.
Ding!
Probably.
Yeah, we need to get.
Like, need proof of yes. Photos, videos, and 3 witnesses.
Just do it in front of me.
And then, I do not think that I have any important pressing matters other than daily conversations with Isabel
Yes,
and daily conversations with Silas.
with Silas.
Oh.
Because I'm gonna stab him.
Right.
They did was you just shoot me.
And talk to him, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's...
Talk first, stab later.
All right. Obviously, I know that Silas, there are a number of things you want to do in this week. You want to talk to Vance, Joanne.
Yeah, and there's one other thing that I talked to you about earlier, but that's if we don't get to that today.
Oh, yes, no, that's fine. We might do that as well. So let's just... We're essentially now moving into the space between the end of that week and then the following week. Because obviously on the 23rd of April is when there is this date you're moving towards.
That's what.
But this does give you a week to kind of cover that. So we'll do your conversation in a minute. Let's just do the quick conversation with Vance first. And obviously, Velvet, have a think if there's anything you want to do over the week.
Staying in my room. Depressed.
Okay.
Cookie dough.
Okay.
Well, I'm not actually eating cookie dough, clearly, but
Just like shoving it around in your mouth and just going.
All right.
summon the bother to move.
I will come to you in a minute then. So,
Yep.
After a few days to recover, Vance comes back to work. So it's easy for you in the Haven to have a talk with him.
Yeah, I'll just catch his eye when he's like patrolling inside.
Sure, yeah. He'll say, yes, Mum.
Nothing big. I hope you're doing all right.
Yes, thank you for your concern. I'm doing all right.
I just have a small request, actually. It's nothing big, nothing it needs to do now. But, I take like 3 envelopes.
Okay.
Just hold them out to him and say, if I ever... I assume I've got Vance's like contact details?
Yeah.
So if I ever send you a message that just says fire, could you please give one of the others this envelope?
Yes.
Same thing, if I ever send you a message that just says tribute, this one, and destroy the others. And if I ever send you a message that just says sky, please take this envelope and give it to the others and destroy the others. That's nothing big, but I just want options covered if anything happens to me.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll just hand the envelopes over.
He'll take them.
Yeah.
Kind of. Says, I'll put these somewhere safe, man.
Thank you. That's it.
That's it. Okay, yeah, he leaves. So let's do the conversation. So assumably you've spoken to Finn, you go back to the Haven and sleep that night. So we're probably like in Monday, Tuesday time.
Yep.
Yeah, basically I'm telling him that there is a slight change of plans. Gun crime is stupidly investigated here.
Yep.
Let's go with knife crime.
Okay.
So I need just basically the details of your flat, and a night before or so I will go and I'll spend the night in your flat. If you're gonna spend it as well, okay, I will be there by the time the 23rd comes. But we need to talk to the others to get the ambulance and the coroner's report or whatever, so it's sorted as soon as possible.
Well, so of course I'm guessing the plan on the day will be for incident to occur and then me to play possum until someone gets me.
Yeah, or me showing up and trying to interrogate the person.
Yeah.
I need to know how many more people have access to it. What were their motives? Who might know of this? Like there's a couple of things that, I mean, I cannot think of anything right now, but there might be a valid reason why I leave them alive and sane. So I will give them that fair chance.
Okay.
And I would recommend you to start acting increasingly paranoid around your co-workers during this week.
I've been dropping some
But
hints.
don't go over the top. You will know because they will offer to hang out with you or walk you home or call you in the middle of the day. So they let them see that you're a little bit shaken. More so than usual, but that's it.
I'll do that.
And
Any word on what? Did you get any anything from the arsehole that you that John fucked the eyes out of?
he's not long for this world. Trespassing. As I said, final death.
Do we find out what clan he is by any chance?
Malkavian.
Okay.
So he'll be executed.
Yeah.
Not because of his clan, but
Yeah.
because he's an idiot.
Yeah. Is Joanne gonna do it or?
I've been thinking of offering her the opportunity. She might want to do it. She might not want to do it.
If not,
Don't worry about it. Actually, let's talk to her. We need a coroner's report. And go to Joanne so she can
Sure.
do a coroner's report with an autopsy on
Well,
him. now.
do we want to have a moment where the four of you are
Yep.
just collectively here to discuss what everyone
No,
this was
I'm in my room.
Sure.
Depressed.
Okay.
Eventually, I'll...
So just as a thought, before you come to Velvet's room, Velvet, whilst you are sitting there depressed,
Lying there.
lying there depressed, waiting, why is he not texted back?
Yeah.
You know,
In my presumably fairly creased silk pajamas by this point.
it will also. What's frustrating is obviously Velvet hates Wallace with like the fire of 1,000 suns, etc., etc. But also, there is this weird, conflicting, both rage, but also kind of, on some level, shame that you have behaved in this ungentlemanly manner.
Ton of stains, right? Surely.
You do, unless you have any
No,
convictions.
of course not.
I'm going to give you 2 stains.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Feel
Because
free.
not only did you,
Don't you have any convictions?
I mean, they're all
like-
expended because of the dog, right?
Oh shit! You have not recharged. them.
yeah.
Because you didn't lend me a helicopter and he wasn't.
That's not how it
you.
works.
That's
You
all I'm
find the
saying.
helo I
Yeah.
piloted.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You find
So-
the helo I piloted.
Chinook, and then we can go with
A
it.
Chinook.
So-
Yeah, I'm early in a Wildcat. I can
It's,
pilot
what,
either.
is it 2, isn't it?
Yeah, one was because it was seen that you had brought shame, you know,
All sorts of things.
for your actions. And the other was that you were not respecting your lord.
No,
So,
for sure. Okay, so it's not.
but if you have any convictions you feel you can
No, we'll-
play against
we'll
them,
do
you
that
can
at the
reduce
end
it to 1
But I-
No, do you want me to roll it now?
at the end of it.
No.
You never know, you might get more before the end of the session.
Oh, yes,
So
that's true.
They,
I mean,
they,
it's likely.
they stock up and then we'll roll at the end.
Okay, fine.
We will also roll for Wallace, of course,
Yeah.
because he served the beast briefly.
He doesn't need to lose any humanity.
There's a knock at your door.
Oh, that's my door. Okay. What?
Velvet,
What?
we need to talk. Coterie meeting, the Silas deal.
What day is it?
It's next week. We need to make arrangements.
What's next week?
Can I come in?
I guess.
I open the door.
Okay.
It's a sad scene.
It is a sad scene. There is a somewhat crumpled
I
velvet.
check. You know, I do the over the shoulder check in the hallway. Close the door. Approach, grab a chair, and sit by the bed.
That is not happening until Friday, which means I don't need to get up until Friday.
So what happened?
What? No, we don't need to talk about that. What happened to you? Because you did not respond to my message. So, there must have been something wrong because
I check
you're
on
not
my
a
phone.
guy. You're not a guy who doesn't respond to messages.
I don't have any message from you.
Joanne told me that you said you couldn't come.
Oh, now I see. There must have been a misunderstanding. Joanne contacted Miyuki. Never said it was for you. Miyuki sent me a text and I had been summoned to talk to my sire. I was at Isabel's. That's why I wasn't here. So I said, I can't. I thought it was Joanne letting me know. I was never aware that you were calling me. And for the looks of it, it was important.
Well, I had a chat with Wallace, and
Okay.
I hit him, because he was being a dick. And then over and above that,
Now run that by me again, Velvet. When you say you hit him,
I mean, I hit him. I mean, not like you hit people, right? But
okay, but
like a pared back version of that.
but it was like a friendly.
Well, I hit him in the face because he's a dick, right? So,
So you slapped the Knight of Oxfordshire,
I mean, he was asking for
who
it.
happens to be your sire as well.
I mean, yeah, but
Accident of birth and all.
that wasn't. I mean, it was the start of the night, so it just sort of went downhill from there. But
I would wonder why.
it transpires that Wallace kidnapped Adam, and after that he had Seth do him over. And so Adam,
Is Adam okay?
no, he's not okay.
What did they do to him?
I don't know what they fucking did to him, Theodore. I don't know. Ask Joanne because she looked at him. I don't know what you fucking call that in medical terms. And anyway, as
Did
it
they
is,
say
as it is,
why they did it? Is it apparent? Is there any apparent reason as to why they did it?
of course, he figured it out.
That is not a reason. That is a motive.
No, he figured it out.
Yeah, again, motivation. They get the desire or the intent of doing it. A reason is something that is within the laws of Oxfordshire. Adam is under the protection of the prince. He cannot be harmed, especially by any other kindred of Oxfordshire.
You know as well as I do, the same rules don't apply to them.
No, they do apply.
They do not apply.
He might be a knight, but he is not of Adam's bloodline. A knight
Theodore,
cannot
nobody
go
cares
around
about
harming.
Adam's bloodline. Nobody. Why do you think Wallace embraced me in the first place? He didn't even have that permission. Nobody gives a shit about that. The only person in this whole city that cares a good goddamn about honor is you. And that's how I knew something was up with you.
I'm not the only one who cares about
Yeah,
honor.
you are.
Sir Enolf cares about honor.
What?
And he is the sire of Wallace's sire.
Yeah, well, you know, Wallace would see it differently because
No, he wouldn't.
I threatened him in the court, so he was not happy when I went to see him.
Hey, run that by me again.
I
You
mean,
did
it was
what
a
at
minor
court?
thing.
Why am I knowing this so many days after the fact?
Well, there wasn't time to tell you about it. But I mean, it's not my fault because he.
What did
he
you do at court?
What did he do at court?
No, what did you do?
Nothing much. I mean, it was a long court and it was kind of boring, and so there was a lull, and I went out.
There were plenty, I remember
Yeah, and
them.
I went out for entertainment, and as it happened, when I came back from that situation, Wallace was talking to Adam, and I was, it was annoying.
I understand that you would be reasonably concerned in the
Yeah,
same
so I
way
told him
I
that.
would. Yeah, probably in the same way I would be if I saw Naoto talking to Miyuki.
Right.
But there's a difference in the things that I would do and how I would do them.
I mean, I know that.
And the things you probably did, because you're telling me
Well, I mean, yeah, I put my hands on him.
in court.
Right. Because he was being a dick. But that is the reason why I don't think. So what the reason
Listen,
why?
I will be meeting with some of the elders and knights. And let's see what reaction I can get out of Sir Enolf. Because he is the closest Oxfordshire has to a Ventru primogen. He is the eldest of our line. He is owed our respect, and as far as I understand it, Adam and his sire have been taken under the protection of the Ventru. So what would happen if they were to come to harm?
Wallace told me not to do it.
Yeah, told you
No,
not
he
to do it.
told me. He told me right after he embraced me. He told me not to.
We've gone over this, Velvet. When you were a fledgling, he had all the right in the world to tell you not to do it. He lost that right the moment you were accepted as your own man here. We've gone over this. You would have been wrong to do what you're doing when you were a fledgling. But this is something that has happened in recent years, when you have been able, as a kindred of Oxfordshire, recognize.
No, it's not.
Have you been doing it for longer?
Ever since I discovered that he was still alive, which was, I don't know, like a couple of weeks after I got here.
Just let me be very, very clear. You're my friend and I love you. But if you tell me any other revelations, Velvet Charles Riley, that I have not known tonight,
That is a low goddamn low.
I will smack you. I am finding out that you have been flirting with temptation
No, not flirting.
and
That's a
trouble. I know you like your head what it is, but do you really understand how close you are putting yourself and Adam in danger?
Yes, I goddamn understand it. You don't have to make that point to me.
Then, let's try to correct some of the behaviors from the past and think of a way forwards. Basically, how to keep you safe, how to keep Adam safe, and how to make it difficult for any knight of Oxfordshire to do whatever the fuck they want with a kindred that is under the protection of the prince.
Jesus Christ, dude. Why are you always so fucking right?
Because I'm over 100 years old.
Alright. I'm gonna rub it in.
Someday we have to learn. Come on, get out of bed. I need you to get us an ambulance. And I start dragging him. Come on.
Get out of bed. Go with him.
So, like in what, your pajamas and a
Yes,
dressing
yes.
gown or something?
And if
right.
someone's is about to say anything, I'll give them the looks. Like,
With my probably not even buttoned up pajamas.
we open up pajamas. So we just do a huddle. I try to get everybody's head together.
So everyone will arrive. Very, very, very super casual. Velvet will arrive with Theodore. But yes, 4 of you are together in the meeting/war/other room. Carry on.
War room.
What day is it?
17th, probably.
What day of the week is it?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So we've got till Friday, right?
The meeting's Monday, by the way.
Monday.
23rd.
Next
Till
Monday.
next Monday, right? We got ages then.
Yeah, but we need to find the ambulance, the paperwork for the coroner. We need to have... It has to be an ambulance, so we are on the radio frequency. And we can say that, hey, we have found this person, this body, or whatever. Send them on a wild goose chase until, like, from a coroner's office, a report is made.
Right, okay.
We need to bribe people to let us into places, or convince them forcefully, or charmingly, or however. Silas' body needs to be on a morgue so it can be...
Certified as dead by Joanne.
Or, yes, but not only that. Any of his co-workers have to go there to the morgue and say, yes, that is Silas. Since his family is not around, gladly, so we spare them that awful moment. When we have that,
All right.
I'll make sure that they will want a closed coffin funeral. Don't worry about that little
Lucky
detail.
you.
He's not gonna be in the coffin.
All right, well.
Just... We're not...
Get me the papers, I can fake whatever, but it needs...
Given the
I
name of a
can't-
coroner that you trusted in life. Someone who is good and honest. So we avoid
Surely we
them.
want someone
I
who's
didn't
not
deal with
honest.
that sort of thing.
Well,
I
then...
could probably find you the name of someone.
Excellent.
Whoever used to work for the company.
This is our week.
Cool.
Arguing and bitching and...
So there's going to be a bit of prep. So the things that
I look for a good kitchen knife in Silas's house that is not too sharp.
in his flat specifically, okay.
That's the one I'm going to use.
Are you going with Silas to Silas's place?
Yeah, at some point.
In the week. Okay, yeah. So are you going like for a quick journey, get a thing and go kind of thing, or are you spending time there?
No, I'm spending time. I'm going at different times.
Okay.
So usually I go on my own time and making... Since I know this person has been taking pictures and stuff,
Yes.
like the first night is I don't even get close, see where all the ins and out, like the entrance and exit points.
So you're gonna like case the area.
I case the area so I can walk in and out maybe a couple of times. One to case it, and the second one when I'm going in.
Are you taking Silas with you, or are you going on your own?
No, I'm going on my own.
Okay.
I'll give them the whole way out.
Are you going into the flat itself, or are you just going around the area?
At the beginning, I'm going around, and then I'm going into the flat itself, and I'm not afraid of using Oblivion after 1 a.m. in the morning. Or 2
Sure.
a.m.
Are you giving him a key or anything, or are you just breaking in? What's your approach?
I will offer. I'll offer a key.
Yeah, I'll bring my stuff to break in. I'll have the key in my...
I have a spec key, so I'll offer
Okay.
a spec.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll
Fine.
take care of that, but it's not like I'm going to use it. I want signs of breaking and entering.
Okay, you want to create signs of breaking and entering.
Well, I will be breaking and entering, so there will be signs of breaking and
Fine.
entering. It's not like I want to create.
So essentially, over the week, you're going to try and get a lay of the land. You're going to look for kind of places where, assumedly, you can watch kind of fairly discreetly if you want to, but also where someone else might do the same thing. And you're also going to look in his flat. What are you looking at, apart from breaking and entering? Is there anything you're looking for specifically in his flat?
Once I get in, I know his flat is sunproof, so I just walk around and get familiar with the flat.
Okay.
Just knowing the lay of the land and figuring out where I'm going to sleep during the day that night.
Okay. So one of the things that is apparent is that Silas lives in a place where lots of students live. And that his flat is essentially a house that's been converted into more than one flat.
Okay.
One of the things that this means is that the people who live both kind of below him but also to either side of him have kind of erratic hours in terms of, and they're often up late. And they're not necessarily coming in and out a lot, but you will hear sounds of activity or music. It's not like they're all asleep, which may be good or bad, but it's for you, but it's kind of how it is.
Which floor is his flat?
So it's just a house that's been converted, so he's just the upstairs one.
Oh, he's upstairs. Cool.
All right, so, Joanne, you are, well, hang on. Velvet, you are trying to get some kind of...
So my reasoning is, because my father's business
Yes.
involved in medical research,
Yes.
they would have received bodies for research,
Yes.
would have come probably via coroner's offices.
Yes.
So I can use that connection to find the paperwork that she wants. If I can find someone to contact, then I'll call them up and pretend to be my dad.
Sure.
Get the
All right. So I think what this effectively is going to be... What's your manipulation and subterfuge?
Yes.
That is exactly what I wanted to hear.
Okay. So let's assume you can do a good impression of your dad.
Yeah, there might be specialties involved.
Yeah, so without needing to roll,
Yep.
you can effectively pretend to be your father and blag some stuff.
Okay,
That's fine.
I will do that and pass it to Joanne.
You've got the week. I don't mind. It's not a big deal.
Yep.
All right, so you can get some paperwork. Now, Joanne, you know what the paperwork should look like and how it should be filled out to look official. So you are going to have to make some kind
Yep.
of fakery roll.
Yep.
You could either take this off larceny, but I feel actually it's more like academics or something businessy.
Well, it could be medicine itself at a higher difficulty.
I wouldn't say medicine.
I think it's probably academics, but you have a specialty or maybe another skill that I think you could apply here.
Yeah, finance, book balancing.
Yes, your book balancing, general forgery thing, you can
You
apply.
have book balancing in quotes.
Yeah.
Okay, that should be called forgery.
Yeah,
No, it's book
no,
balancing.
it's book balancing. It's book balancing.
Yeah, it's
So,
the same way that larceny is called security by
Yeah.
the venture.
Yeah.
so let's say you can do it off, because you've got like medical academics or biology or something along those lines.
No, I've got mathematics.
Oh, have you? Oh, okay. In that case, let's just apply the specialty from the forgery, and probably, I think, larceny or maybe, and again, academics, maybe. In terms of writing forms and things.
Intelligence.
Oh, stat-wise,
That.
so intelligence you can go for. Just tell me your pool first, because if it's silly, then I might let you just run with it.
Including the
Including the
balancing
specialty.
specialty,
Yeah.
it's 6.
I am going to ask you to roll.
Yep.
Just because, just to see how good it is, really. Because obviously it might come under scrutiny depending on how the rest of this goes.
I'm willpowering it.
Yeah.
Exactly the same roll, 3 5s, but for 2 successes total.
So you do it. It looks pretty accurate. It just means if, for any reason, this suddenly became the big subject of investigation, it will affect their difficulty to scrutinise that form.
So the first roll was 3 5s, and then I willpowered it and rolled 3
Three
5s.
You are rolling 3 of the same
Yeah.
Yeah.
multiple times. Everything
Yeah, 3
under
twos.
6, which is not good.
Now,
Theodore, come on.
Theodore, just as a thought, what's your What are you hoping to achieve by your kind of surveillance of the flat? What's the thing that Theodore wants to get out of this?
Understand what is the logical place. Like, if this person wants to do a meet here,
Yeah.
then where are they coming from?
Like, where might they be watching the flat from?
Where are they watching the flat? Where is surveillance?
Okay.
So, of course, I am avoiding windows. I am avoiding stuff.
Yeah. All right. Maybe then this could be something like resolve and stealth. Because what you're doing is you're taking your time and you're looking for ways where people would want to stealthily approach. So you're effectively trying to retrace potential routes they might take and find the best one.
Rouse?
Sure.
It's not like I'm not going to be feeding from them.
Okay.
My pool is 8. Do you want me to roll?
No, you don't need to.
Okay.
So what this means is, during this next section, if you want to do anything that involves stealthily maneuvering yourself around this area, you will have an automatic success.
Yeah, my pool normally is without the crazy stuff, it's enough for 3.
Yeah, but if
to 8 if I rouse.
Okay.
So half would be 4.
in that case, I will say a free dice
Okay.
on movements to do that, but also to observe someone else hiding because you know the spots to potentially to look. So looks to spot someone hiding or hide yourself or shadow or sneak. Get an extra die for that scene.
Okay, cool.
Silas, I believe you wanted to see T and pick up some fake fangs.
Yep.
So you do that. That is trivial. She
Yeah.
gives you some fake fangs.
Big fang.
And just gives you a quirked eyebrow as to why you might want them, but doesn't ask any questions.
So, because the usual playing for flirting goes between.
Yeah, there is obviously some flirtation, and she will say, "You still owe me that dinner."
I'll get on that. Yep.
Okay. Now, you also in this week wished to meet Jenny, which I assume you'll do.
Yep.
So, in what capacity, where do you want to meet her, basically?
Just sort of firstly initial bar, but then just to walk around, walk and talk, because it'd probably be a while since last seen, just to catch you up on.
Okay, so let's say you meet for a drink and then you're going to walk her home or something.
Yeah.
So, I don't think she's appeared in season 2 yet. So Jenny now looks to be in her mid-30s. She has long red hair and is very slim and looks like someone you might see on the TV. You know, she's got that kind of very well-kept kind of appearance, but also that sort of hyper high effort in terms of, you know, the makeup and everything else. She will be very pleased to see you. And she'll say, Silas, it's been such a long time. How are you?
A bit busy. I mean, end of Bernard was manic, and of course, the start of Battlestar Galactica has been manic as well.
So, is this a similar thing? Are you still doing the stunt work?
I was mostly doing this network, yeah.
I mean, it's great you've got another gig with it, and you seem to really enjoy it. Do you ever think about? I mean, that guy that played Bernard. I mean, he's pretty old.
Yeah, he is. He is.
And I don't think he was that good looking when he was young, if I'm honest. You don't think you could have done both? I mean, it's people like it, don't they? When stars do their own stunts, it's really popular. Yeah. I mean, people like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm looking at moving into in a bit of time. But again, don't want to rush and do something stupid.
Sure, I'm just saying. You know, obviously it's great you've got the gig and do it, but still audition for other stuff. Don't.
Of course, always do. How's your stuff going?
So, I'm on the second round of auditions for Miss Hannigan, because they had it all lined up and it was just going to be, you know, more chorus work. But, the lady who had it got ill, and now there's this sudden openings, and we're all going for it. And obviously we now, you know, I've got a bit of a better chance because I know the director and that now. And they're going to have to age me up a little bit. but that's fine.
I
mean, better that than the other way round.
I know a wonderful makeup artist who.
Do you?
Yes.
Could you put me in touch, because I really want to nail this audition. I'd like to show them how I'd look, really for the.
Yes, I'll pass details on to Odie.
That would be amazing.
No
Thank
problem.
you, Silas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just got time goes. I mean, it must be what, 4 years since I last saw you.
Something like that, yeah. And we get busy.
Well, you should make the most of it, because when if I get this, well, then I'll be on tour, so I won't, I won't be around Oxford so much. I mean, I'm always going up and down to London, but you know what it's like.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's up and down.
I can't. It's too expensive to stay there, but
Yeah, it's got even the more expensive parts.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, it's just astronomical. It's ridiculous.
So, so this new thing's starting, which is great.
Yeah.
Have you heard from any of the others lately? I've lost touch with everybody. It's just
I try and send messages out every now and again, but of course, the amount we hear back is nothing.
yeah. All right. Well, I hope Battle Shark.
Battle Shark Galactica. I know. It sounds ridiculous, Tyler, but it seems to be working.
I mean, if you're getting paid, that's a win. I say.
There's always a win.
Well, is there anything else that Silas wants to say to her?
No, it's just
So she'll make some small talk. Be nice to see you. She'll hug you goodbye.
yeah. And so we then meeting up some other time before, and kind of let me know how the audition goes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and also kind of drop in that. Yeah, there was that some maybe just the light little paranoia stuff.
Oh, you're going to mention the.
Yeah, just lightly.
Yeah, you do have to be careful with this sort of thing.
Of course.
I mean, that's why I'm glad you're walking me back, because it only takes one person.
Yes.
Because most people are all right. It's lovely. I love it. But then, it's always the odd ones that go that extra. Don't know anything about boundaries.
Yeah, which is why, of course, it's one of the reasons why I haven't pushed to moving towards the full limelight yet.
Well, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think you should do it. It'd be different for you than it is for me. Because you're a man, Silas. It's easier. Just.
It shouldn't be any different. That's the thing.
But it is. That's the thing. So you should do. You should look. You're looking really good.
Yeah.
You should take advantage of that. You know what they're like. They're always looking for young people, and it's best to start early, and then you can get character roles later on. That's what
That's
I'd
the truth.
say. All right, can you put me in touch anyway, because the auditions, that would be wonderful. Cool. So do you put her in touch?
Yes, I do put that with Eddie.
Okay. So you will hear later in the week that she has got the part. Yes. All right. Anything else before Monday the 23rd from anyone? Going once?
Just how long do I last before I go to see Adam?
I mean, that is a question only you can answer.
I mean, it depends if I speak to him. By phone or whatever.
He will not call you.
Because I will want to know how he is, obviously.
He will, unless you force the issue or call him directly, he will try to kind of tone down the contact a lot.
Okay.
And he might send the occasional, text that just checks in or says hi or says, I'm okay, you're okay, that kind of thing. But it's nothing more than that. And it feels awful.
Yep.
So it's up to you. Does Velvet crack over this week?
No, I think it just gets progressively more miserable.
Okay.
And more withdrawn.
Okay.
Because I guess he's staying at the Big Haven.
Yes. Yeah. So one of the things obviously is there is the a normal situation like this where you can't see someone that you want to see is awful and can make you miserable, of course. But also you as Velvet have this very potent blood bond with Adam, and so it is worse. The only thing that makes it bearable is that you know that in a sense, by not going, you are not putting him at. It minimises the risk.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it possible.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's something that you miss very keenly, and you probably spend a lot of that week reimagining your last times together and how good it was and everything else. Probably whilst like moody music plays in the background through the montage. So,
very quickly at some point, just in passing, I'll just like go up to Silas and go, remember what I said before? Emergency only.
Yep.
But it can all go away. Just like in passing while I'm going to do something else.
okay.
Okay.
That's her way of being concerned for you.
Yes, Doctor.
So, did you say you want to do something on the Sunday the 22nd specifically, or are you just waiting till Monday the 23rd at this point?
No, on Sunday I go to Silas and I spend the night there.
So you're spending the night at Silas's, and you're just staying in there.
I'm going closer to dawn
Yeah.
when it's still very dark, but you know those 4 or 5
Yeah.
a.m. moments, and I just fully Oblivion Shadow Cloak my way in.
Okay. So towards the end of the night, you go in. Okay. So, the evening of Monday the 23rd arrives. Theodore is in Silas's flat. The rest of you are in the Haven. What are you all planning to do?
Well, Silas should be in his flat.
Yeah, I would have been in the flat as well.
Oh,
He's supposed to be there.
so you're going to you're going to, as in you're going to go the previous night as well. Okay.
We're not gonna go together.
Are Velvet or Joanne anywhere near any of this according to your discussions and plans as a coterie, or are they somewhere else?
They should be on call, no more than a minute away on the ambulance.
I'll be waiting for my cue.
Hang on. Where have you got an ambulance, my friends? I understand you blagged some paperwork.
What am I to do with an ambulance?
That's your job.
It wasn't my job as a coroner.
So you've done the paperwork forging, but if you want to turn up in an ambulance, that's a slightly bigger call. So
You're gonna have to steal an ambulance. Well, if we don't have an ambulance, then Velvet should be on call. So when the ambulance arrives, we presence and dominate the wazoo out of the people in the ambulance.
Yeah, it'd be good if I had dominate.
Yeah, I will dominate.
Okay, so where are Velvet and Joanne positioning themselves relative to Silas's flat?
Oh, he lives in a scummy part of town, doesn't he?
It's not that scummy.
I mean, it's scummy, but
It's scummy by Velvet standards, yes, but it's not.
Probably in Velvet's car.
Hang on. You're in the flat with Silas.
Yeah.
You two.
I'll dressed as low key as I can.
So you've gone cash.
Yeah, except I've just got whatever clothes I've got at the Haven because I haven't been back to my house.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, yeah.
So what are they? But what I mean is, are the two of you together? Are you?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Are you in a vehicle? Out of a vehicle?
Probably be in. Wait, no.
My car.
Yeah, not my car because it's too nice. So, yeah, Theo's car.
Okay. I'm assuming you took your car back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are in Theo's car, parked in the street where Silas lives, or a different street?
Different street.
One across?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
I make a mental note to buy Theo a new car.
And you're waiting.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So it
Waiting
hits.
for any sort of cue?
It hits kind of like you'll basically be in position probably about 8:30. And by 8:30, you two are in the flat, and no one has immediately turned up. And the night will start to wear on. Around 9 o'clock, so not that late, could you, Joanne, give me a wit and awareness roll? Where are you in Silas's flat, Theodore? Just for reference, when things
Probably
happen.
sitting on the couch next to the light.
Okay, so you're sitting on the couch. Where are you, Silas?
All windows are gonna be like closed.
So windows are closed, curtains pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silas is at his keyboard instrument as if it's a normal night, just getting us practicing.
Okay, so you're just chilling, practicing.
2 successes on that roll?
Okay. A car goes by the street that you two are sitting in, and Joanne, you think you recognise the driver. You think it is McAllister. They drive by, turn into Silas' street.
I'm on my feet.
Okay.
It's gonna text Silas and say, undercover police may be on scene.
I keep playing with one hand as I shoot the other.
I just stand up, see it undercover police. Please make sense, woman. Theodore. No, actually, no, Chief.
Yeah.
And I hand over the.
Exactly what I said, Byro.
Oh. Do you have any police officers that hate you? I mean, if Joanne is saying she's being literal, she's being literal.
I mean, that was that.
I thought it was sarcasm, but no.
I
it
noticed
is-
that 10 years ago that detective was asking about Eric, but
About who?
about the
God, you
the guy that we gave to Joanne, that we gave off for Joanne's blood thingy,
Which one?
the first one,
Oh, that one.
that one.
Pretty boy. Okay. Look. This is a police officer. Things might be a little bit more complicated.
Hello.
And I just walk slowly
Yeah.
and quietly into the kitchen, which is or this is like mini flats, right?
Yeah.
So I walk.
Well, it's like houses, terraced houses have been converted into flats.
Okay, so this is one room, one sort of it's like open plan kind of thing.
No, no. It's not. The kitchen is separate to the front room. It's just that the rooms are small. The front room is, but you've got a front room, you've got a kitchen, you've got a bathroom, you've got a bedroom.
Yeah, I just step out of the way into one of the other areas that is not lit.
Sure, you step into the darkness
Yes,
of
and,
another room,
Shadow cloak.
and the shadows will seem to slip easily about you. So, Silas,
Who is it?
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
it's Chief Inspector McAllister. I'd like to have a word with you. Can you open the door, please?
Sure. I go up, open the door.
Quick question: is Silas wearing prosthetics?
Yeah. He
Okay,
he's normal. Yeah.
sure. So she comes in. You haven't seen her for a long time. She's about 5'7". She's just wearing kind of casual clothes, like black clothes, basically leather jacket, trousers. You'll see she has that kind of odd spirally scar by the corner of her right eye, and she's got grey hair, but a few streaks of it have been dyed red, kind of towards the front.
It's kind of those. You just open the door enough to put your head down.
She says, "Can I come in, please, Mr. Shaw?"
What is this about?
Well, I can talk to you about it on your landing if you want, but I'd rather come in and talk to you.
Sure.
You let her in.
Yeah. Go to the door.
She comes in. She says, I was wondering if I could ask you some questions. You've not been home much lately, have you?
Have you been watching?
I've been trying to find you, Mr. Shaw. I was wondering if you could tell me where your whereabouts were on the 11th of April. It was a Wednesday.
11th of April?
Do you mind if I sit down?
Sure. Well, 11th of April.
She'll go and make herself comfortable.
I mean, right. Or just out with a few people? Why? Is there something of concern?
Well, yes, Mr. Shaw. I'm hoping you can help me with an investigation.
Okay.
There's a man's gone missing,
Oh.
and he was last seen in the Upton area.
Okay. Yeah. I think I know what that is.
And you were seen driving at great speed towards that area. Around that time, we caught you on one of our cameras. So I was wondering why you were driving at such haste to Upton on Wednesday the 11th at the location where someone disappeared and there was an incident. I wonder if you saw anything.
I mean, I'll admit I shouldn't have been driving that fast, but my focus was on the road.
So what were you doing? Were you driving to Upton?
I think I was just driving through the area.
So where were you going in such a hurry?
To a friend. I always help my friends.
So what was that? She takes out a notebook. She says, "What was the name of the friend?"
Which I'll list a few people who I might know who live in the area, or just naming names.
I mean, you know loads of people around.
Yeah.
You can name some people. She says, so if I was to call them, they will be able to verify your presence there on that evening, at that time.
And what are you accusing me of something?
I'm making inquiries, Mr. Shaw. A man has gone missing. There's been a missing persons report filed, and witnesses in the area have described there being an assault at that time. It's a very serious issue. So,
Do we still have that guy? Didn't Sally give him back? We shouldn't have that guy in the house. Okay. This is something different. Okay, go.
So who was this poor person then?
She says his name was Kevin Lawson. She'll show you a photo. It does look like the guy that you brought to your haven, the one who was attacked at in Sally's domain that then Joanne and you saved the life of. It's obviously, this is a much healthier, happier looking picture of him that she shows you than when you've seen him, but you still recognise him.
She's dead.
Okay, can you make a quick, I don't know, manipulation and subterfuge, let's say.
Bestial, right?
Oh, you fucking
Bestial.
A bestial fail? Does that mean you got a compulsion?
yeah.
I would believe so, because I know skull on the red and nothing on the black.
Okay, you could re-roll the black with a willpower if you want to avoid the...
Well, it depends. He would have to. If he fails the difficulty.
Yeah, if he just... Yeah.
If it's difficulty one.
Nope.
Well, it's a contested roll, so it's whether he beats her. No.
I wouldn't even try it.
All right. As she is talking to you, your beast says, "Get out of here now." The compulsion you're going to get is paranoia. You do not want to be around people. You do not want to be anywhere near this woman. She is dangerous to you. You know it. You just want to get away. You need to get away from her as fast as possible. That is what your beast is telling you to do. Like right now. So she says, can I have the numbers of these friends of yours that can corroborate your location on that night, please, Mr. Shaw?
You're saying that you really think I have some sort of involvement in this?
Sorry, yes, Theodore.
They project my shadow.
Okay, what, over her? Yep.
Well, under her.
Yes, sure.
Without going hungry, thank you very much.
So, as you're saying this, Silas, she says, I'm not making accusations, Mr. Shaw. I just wish to corroborate your story. You're saying you didn't see anyone. We have you in the area. I just want to make sure you're not involved. That's all. That's all. I'm actually trying to help you. So, at this point, she briefly seems distracted and shivers, and then kind of shakes her head and looks at you.
Is everything okay?
She says, it's fine, Mr. Shaw. So can you give me this information, please?
I'll give list of
So you're going to give some numbers.
list of numbers.
Okay. She says, and I want to ask you, you're absolutely sure you didn't see anything on that night?
Of course, I saw things. Of course, I saw things.
And you,
It's
and you didn't stop in Upton at any point during that time, did you? You didn't park up anywhere at any point or drive off anywhere.
No, I was driving around. I'm slowly inching towards the door.
So you're just starting to leave.
Slowly inching towards the door.
She's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Shaw, I didn't quite catch that as you are going towards the door. Are you just going to leave? Or are you going to... I mean, obviously, if she was to leave, that would also make you feel good. But generally, you want to remove yourself from company.
I need some. I need.
It's all right, Mr. Shaw, calm down. I can wait. Maybe we should step outside and get some air together.
Sure.
So
The moment she stands from the couch,
Yeah.
that's when I approach her.
Okay, so currently your shadow is falling across her.
Yeah.
You step out from the door, and she obviously startles slightly.
Be quiet, sit down, shut up.
She does exactly as you said. Her eyes glaze. I'm assuming you're dominating her. Her eyes glaze over. She sits. Goes silent.
Couple of quick questions. Were you the one who has been sending him messages and had the pictures in the storage?
So just as a point of order, if you're dominating her to sit down and be silent, she'll do that. But if you want her to engage with you in conversation...
Oh yeah, but mine was first compel.
Oh, it's compel. Okay, fine.
First
she
compel, so she doesn't
Okay.
go...
Yeah. Okay, fine. So you say a couple of quick questions, and she
And
says...
now is old-fashioned
Okay.
intimidate?
So she will say, I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm Sophia.
You leave.
Yep.
Like, no one you want to be concerned with.
Just... She pauses for a moment in genuine surprise and says, I'm sorry, I'm not sure I heard you right there, sir. Are you threatening me?
No. I usually make promises. You will hurt if you don't reply.
Okay, so let's just make a very quick roll. So you are going to you'll have your shadow cloak advantages for your pool.
And my shadow cast.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be pretty much a straight. I will allow you to take it on charisma.
Okay.
Well, I think it's manipulation, really. So manipulation, intimidation. You can have your shadow cloak bonuses.
Arouse.
Yep.
I'm going to send you a message quickly.
Sure.
Yeah, Silas is going to use his skills to get on the roof.
Yeah, So Silas, you nip onto the roof pretty quickly.
I think hour. Okay, good.
Okay, so far we have a critical win.
Hey, there we go.
This was a 3. This is now.
Okay.
So this is 4, 5, 6 successes critical win. I'm not gonna.
Okay. So what happens is, she looks at you again,
I go hungry.
like properly, and something in her demeanor shifts, and she says, Can you repeat your question, please, sir?
Are you the one who has been sending messages to Silas and who?
No, I've not. I've been trying to find him, but he's not been here for days.
Pictures in the storage.
Pictures? I don't know what you're talking about. Her phone buzzes, but she doesn't answer it. You're holding out your hand.
Yeah.
She will give it to you. It is a text that says, "Are you okay?"
Who is this person?
She says, "A friend." Her name's...
And I just lean
Okay.
very closely.
She says,
Just so you know, I'm not using Blush of Health.
okay. She says, her name's Joanne. She's a good friend of mine. She knows people like you. People you don't mess with. She's just checking in on me. She doesn't mean any trouble.
Hand over the phone.
She takes it.
So how do you know Joanne?
She says, I met her a long time ago. You have to understand, I'm a police officer. I see some very bad things. Some very unfair things. And
Such as? The disappearance of this person?
people who don't respect the law, people who get away with things. And, well, Joanne's always been understanding, that's all. She's a good person, someone you can trust. And she's just checking in, she's just being a friend.
And I just put a finger.
Okay, she stops talking.
Yes, she is a good person. But I'm not quite sure about the trust issue. Not now. You do know the person you're looking for is alive and well. Don't you?
She nods.
Why hound Silas?
Because there's something about him doesn't add up. He keeps popping up in strange places.
Because he works for me.
Now,
You don't want to go there.
you're the one. I wondered if he was connected to all of whatever it is she does. I didn't know he was. I just assumed he was something else. I'm sorry.
How much do you know about Joanne?
I know she's.
Speak openly and plainly.
I know she's had a difficult life, and I know she's willing. She's not afraid of the world. She's not afraid of.
Let me rephrase that. What do you know about Joanne's activities?
Not a lot. I know
Of
that.
who she is?
I know she's in hiding. I know she's pretending to be dead when she's not. I know she's involved in dangerous things, and I know that if there are
dangerous things?
I don't know the details. I just know that she knows people that when certain people can't be reached by me, someone like me, they can reach them. You know, sometimes we come across people who are not protected, who can't take advantage of the law, who can't look after themselves, who I can't protect. She's just someone who knows people who can help those people, that's all. And that's got her enemies. That's why she has to hide. If you're working with her, you must know this.
Well, this is your lucky day. Because whenever she says she knows people who takes care of these things, I'm the one she knows.
I understand that. I realise that now. I can see. And she was always very clear that I should be careful and not. I didn't realise that Mr. Shaw was involved in that side of things.
He helped Joanne save the man of Vanna. Kevin?
Yes. He didn't mention anything about. I suppose that makes sense now that I've met you. I'm sorry. Look, I'll leave him alone.
I extend my hand. Your phone.
She will give it to you.
And I send the message. Yes, Dr. Pepper. She is okay. Send.
Okay. You giving her the phone back?
Yes.
I'll text back you and say, if you hurt her, I'll fucking kill you.
I'm gonna sell my
I
phone.
ignore my phone. I just ignore my phone.
Sure.
And go like, okay, this can go one of two ways. One, I protect myself and mine. Two, You help me do it. One of these options is very bad.
If you're a friend of Joanne's, then I'll help.
Excellent, because there is a friend. There is someone who has been extorting. I think the word is extortion. Yes, someone who has been sending messages to Silas, and has pictures that has been chasing and investigating him, apparently from the shadows. Someone who can probably want to blackmail him at some point. That's the reason of my first questions. That's the reason I am here. I am looking after mine, and you will help me.
All right, I'm listening.
You're a police officer. This is someone who is operating outside the law, breaching the privacy of
Well, if
my
they...
friend.
Has Mr. Shaw filed any complaint? Is there any trail or...
Now that you know what he does, or without the details, the good intentions of people like us who have enemies.
Well, if you give me the details you have, I can look into it. I can try and see what's going on.
Yeah, actually, Joanne will give you those details.
All right.
And that's when I reach for my phone.
Yeah.
What does the message say?
If you've hurt her, I'll fucking kill you.
I just hit dial. Give the phone to her.
Okay. So she takes the phone. Meanwhile, oh Velvet, can you just give me a quick awareness and hang on? No, you're not in Silas's street, are you? Well, you are.
Street over.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
Is that with the street over?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't actually see his
No.
building.
No, I'm waiting on a call or something.
Okay, fine. In that case, you don't have to
So
make a
just
roll.
getting my high score on Chronicle.
So as you are handing the phone to her, and your phone will obviously start to ring. Silas, you have got up on the roof.
Yep.
Thank goodness you're on the roof, away from everybody, and you start to feel yourself relaxing. That you're away from everyone, and this is good, and it's calm, and it's safe. You hear a strange scrabbling noise coming from nearby, and that is where we will bring the session to a close. So this obviously is Mitch Appreciation Week.
Yay!
So
And assistant, tech ghoul, master oven cleaner, and delightful lasagna eating guest, Kirsty!
Hey! So big thank you to them. Thank you to the wonderful players as always.
And to our storyteller.
Thank you, and to you for watching. So thank you very much, and hopefully join us next week to find out what happens to our intrepid coterie.
Oh boy.
Bye. Thanks for watching this episode of Blood on the Tamesis. If you'd like to keep up with all the latest news, follow us on Twitter and Facebook. And remember, if you want to join us live, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 PM UK time on Twitch. Or you can catch up on YouTube and our podcast. And a big thanks to our supporters on Patreon and all of you beautiful disaster ghouls. We'll see you next time.